Bank a clock?
Yes.
Tell you what, we got 20 minutes to kill. You want to do a 20-minute ride along?
Yes. Ooh, bank a clock?
Let me contact Anita real quick and get permission.
Oh, I should change the title. I don't even know what it is.
Hi, Anita. Do I have permission to have Ash as a ride along for the next 20 minutes before I go 42, pussy? Referring to myself. Nope.
Yeah, good morning, guys.
Awesome. Thank you, Anita. I appreciate it.
Good morning.
Bye-bye.
I'm fucking cooked.
You're my ride along.
Oh, hell yeah. Okay, who I don't have a gun. How am I gonna kill him?
It's okay. You're gonna stay in the car?
Hell yeah. Okay, I'm good at that.
Okay, perfect. Hold on. Dispatch 325 back on channel 2108. Oh, copy that. Ah! We're going to a vault robbery.
What? Wait, are you for real?
Yep.
What? Oh my god. Okay, wait, that's convenient.
You excited?
Yes. I don't know if I've ever been to a bank, like a vault bank robbery.
So
you should probably repair your car first.
I need to go grab my class 2 from Bob Smith anyway, so.
Who's that?
What's that?
Who's that?
Who's who?
Bob?
Oh, Bob Smith PD. Bob Smith used to work for the PD. He recently retired, actually. But there's a PD named after him.
Wait, Bob with a 0?
No, just Bob.
He was
Bob
a great
Smith
guy.
PD's.
I miss him.
Oh, Bob?
Yeah, with a 0.
Why was there a 0 in his name?
He was an accountant, an all-around good guy. He used to check that we were wearing our seatbelts, and he actually stabbed a guy with a pen once.
Oh, that's
Not even
nice.
a police officer. I don't remember. I think in his eye. I think in his eyeball he stabbed him.
Jesus.
I think so. I could be mixing him up with someone else. I'm not sure. But he did still put seatbelt checks, and no one else ever does that. And I never wear my seatbelt.
Seatbelt check?
No, I'm not wearing it.
I know you're not, because I have a harness.
Well, then technically, if you're wearing your harness, then I guess I'm wearing mine too.
Okay. Kind of powerful.
I just don't know about
powerful,
it.
Ash. Nice, dude. Okay. All right, let me go upstairs, grab my class 2, and then we're gonna go to the vault. Apparently, no one's there, so I guess we'll see what's going on.
Ooh, okay. You take primary.
Up, down, down, left, right,
But I kind of want to know what Mike wants. He tried to call yesterday as well, and he texted saying, and he texted saying call. So
Up, down, down, left,
I kind of want to know what he wants.
Right.
Look, thank you so much for the 5 gifted subs. Our subs are gonna fucking plummet today.
Is the vault code 4?
I don't know what to, but they're gonna plummet today.
Copy that. Do you still need assistance?
Shiny teeth and me.
Oh, 325-10-8.
Up, down, down, left, right.
Apparently no one was there. They tried cracking through the first door. Some shit went down, and they bailed. Or cops could get there. Almost.
No.
Almost.
Well, okay, can you get someone to rob another bank really fast?
There's probably going to be someone to rob a bank here soon.
Lindsay, thanks so much for the 10 gifted
What up,
subs. I
pussy?
appreciate it. And BudClan, thank you for the 11 months of resub. Welcome back. Canada
why does that
thank
ring
you
a
for
bell
the
to
15
me?
months. Freddie Cassidy, welcome back, you guys. I appreciate it a lot.
Yes, I
How's the
believe.
new
Hold
house?
on.
Ugh.
Why? Is everything good?
Ugh.
All right, no
Ellie,
problem,
thank you very much for the gifted sub too.
Oh, we might be joining a chase.
Oh.
Maybe.
Oh.
Up, down, down, left, right, BA start.
I wanna know who it was
No,
here.
it's a 1038. There's also a traffic stop.
Wait, so is it a chase or a traffic stop?
It's a traffic stop. Oh, God.
Oh.
I'm fine. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
That was really bad timing. Do you need?
It's okay.
Do you need any?
I'm good.
Okay.
strapped.
I'm sorry, Cannoli. I love you.
It's okay, don't worry about it.
I love you, Cannoli.
Oh, we broke his
I love you, Cannoli.
That's my point.
Hello, Mike. I tried to call you. Please dip, dip, dip. Please dip before he talks to me. I don't want to get locked in a 2-hour conversation. Please.
I know. He called me earlier in an alleyway. We talked for like 20 minutes. Mike, get out of here.
We're doing a felony stop.
No, you're gonna get shot. You get the fuck out of here.
Whoa, don't threaten to shoot me. What the fuck?
Listen, I'm just telling you.
I actually love our conversations with Mike.
No, I didn't threaten to shoot you.
Oh my gosh, I've never noticed that shot before.
Fuck Mike.
Don't fuck Mike.
Yeah.
I'm married.
Yeah, don't fuck Mike. You're married.
Cosboy, thank you very much for the 10 gifts.
Dispatch 325, show me attached 1038 westbound Vinewood. Is Ring on channel 2?
Oh, I just realized he was trying to call. I have my phone on silent.
Up, up, down, down, left, right, BA start.
Wait, that's Ava. Wait, why is Ava here? She's a good girl.
626 can break off from this traffic stop in 76 Great Ocean.
What's happening at Great Ocean?
I don't want Ava to ever have to deal with Wrangler. She's so sweet.
Oh, A firm.
She's so sweet. I don't want her to ever be upset, you know? I don't want that to ever happen. Okay, wait, what did he say?
There's a robbery happening.
Oh. I don't think he... I'm only gonna be awake for another 15 minutes or so. We can chat after if you wanna. Like after Tsunami.
No, sir.
What was Jasper's verdict? So Jasper was found guilty on all counts. And he was given the death penalty, and fuck, it was done. It was the craziest thing. I was like me? Like, like Ash just, like, I was shocked.
Okay.
Alright, sir. Right now you do
I didn't expect that at all.
Anything you say can and will be used against you court of law. The director attorney, if you cannot afford one will be provided if one is available. You understand, sir? You're under arrest. And you just tried to run. That's not good. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
What shall I do with the passenger, Captain?
Get her out of the car and frisk her.
You meet me on the sidewalk, ma'am.
Oh no. Like Jasper's last words, wasn't that scary?
Well, I'm assuming because
By the way, there is no robbery, so we're good.
he's gonna be frisking you, ma'am.
I thought there was a robbery. They all said that there was a robbery, but there's one not going on, so I'm confused.
Wait, why are they pointing the gun and shit at her?
That we're only gonna find a
I'm very confused. I'm confuzzled.
This is a very large Starbucks latte, if so, of venti.
venti.
Wait, venti?
Bet you wish you could bend out of this. Zuma.
Ma'am, what's this bulge?
Hey, Ash.
Hmm?
Hey,
12 minutes.
And Pickle Dance my Dominique.
Yeah.
Miss up.
Big pogs. Big pogs.
Miss up. Alright, well, I'm gonna search you just to see what this bulge is. Well, I just gotta make sure that...
Oh, we want to see it.
Is this your enterprise-wide body?
Gamer Cat, thank you so much for the 15-month resub, by the way. Welcome back.
Puffer,
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Ooh, look at the gray color. Oh yeah, you guys. I have a partnership going, with Intel and Computer Alliance at the moment.
For real this time. A pistol suppressor, an engagement ring. Oh.
Hey, what's this? Hey. What's in the box? What's in the box?
Wait. Cap, she's got at least 40.
But yeah, if you guys haven't seen it, I announced it on Twitter. Let me go ahead and
That's my rough
link that to you
Up,
guys
up,
so you
down,
guys
down,
can
left, right,
see it
left, right,
too.
PA
I'm
start.
very excited for it. Yeah, please take this. Please take this.
Why do you guys have all this?
I'm very, very excited for it.
Oh, Eden!
Can I talk to Ayla?
I took your warehouse.
Uh,
Never met, have we?
technically, no. I mean, I don't even know what I'm doing here, to be honest.
Warehouse, remember? Now you're back at it, huh?
I
Usually
didn't-
I'd say like, yeah, go for it, but it's Wrangler,
There's
so
nothing
I
wrong
don't,
with
you know,
personal use.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What do you mean it's your weekend?
I did not expect the death penalty. I'm gonna be honest. I really didn't
He's
expect the
not,
death penalty. And I was very sort of taken
Up,
aback
up, down, down, left, right,
by it.
PA start.
I was shocked. I was like, what the fuck? Did anyone expect the death penalty? I mean, I fully expected and, you know, anticipated him getting guilty. I don't think there was any way that he would be found not guilty, especially given, like, all the evidence. You know? Like he had blood on scene for, like, the Ash kidnapping. You know what I mean? Like, there was a lot of stuff. So, I 100% thought he would get guilty, but I did not think he would get the death penalty. I didn't expect that at all. I was very, 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 very shocked by that. I'm still a little bit shocked. I still sort of keep thinking about it. Like, how bizarre. He got the death penalty and then, bam, let's go and do it. I guess because, so, I don't know if everyone shall know this, but, like, Ash has witnessed a execution in the prison before this. With Benji, actually, when we were arrested after a bank.
Go on, you can walk, man. I'm not gonna carry you around.
And,
Shit.
so, like, that was,
Come on,
like,
you can walk.
scheduled, I believe.
Hey, yeah, go help them. Go
Alright,
help them. Go.
yeah,
So, it was shocking.
all right. What channel is this? We're going to a 78's call.
What is that? Emergency backup?
Oh yeah, very, very big emergency.
Oh, okay. Do you need a vest?
Nope, I'm good.
But like, I kept thinking to myself, wait, okay, like, listen, I couldn't say this with Ash because, like, Ash is supposed to be scared and etc. But I kept thinking, what if he's got people to say goodbye to? You know, what if he's got people to say goodbye to? What if he's got affairs to get in order? And I said, what about his affairs to Reggie?
We're about to
And
parallel.
Reggie said that
So a
he's
paralleling
got,
is we're gonna be on the road beside people.
he's got he should have already had his affairs
Oh,
in order.
Jesus.
Up, up, down, down, left, right, PA start.
Don't worry, just concentrate on driving, okay?
What's up? Okay.
Fuck, I need my banjo music. Hang on. Give me a second. All my tabs are loading. Hang on. Don't worry, I've got this.
Up, up, down, down, left, right, PA start.
If only my frames weren't so shit. Maybe I need to use an Intel computer.
Up, up, down, down, left, right, PA start.
I don't know, understand what's happening right here. One last hurrah. Listen to your faves and live
So
support small
funny, man.
businesses.
There's.
Gary Barry.
Excuse me.
Oh wait, this is not Gary Barry. Two FPS right on? Hell yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I made just. We're gonna go 42.
What?
We got 6 minutes. This is gonna last a long time.
Well, what is it?
What's up? It's there's apparently people on rooftop shooting at cops.
Well, let's go shoot them back.
Not in 6 minutes.
Well, but we have 6 minutes to help your fellow officers in need, Flop.
I want to go 42 and prepare. I'm gonna be honest. I don't want to get stuck in this for the next half hour.
God damn it.
I know. If it was a bank robbery, it'd be different.
Well, I guess you can't go 42 without being a pussy, so fair enough, Flop. Oh shit, that was harsh.
I'll talk to you in not 6 minutes.
Okay, I'll just go walk past the line of fire.
No,
Bye.
don't go that way. Don't go that way. Don't go that way.
And we waddled away till the very next day.
Up, up, down, left, right, BA start.
I want to zoom out. Don't you pull me over for jaywalking.
Up, down, left, right, BA start.
Hyperwolf, thank you for the 13-month resub. Oh shit, I guess I'll put some non-banjo music on then. How boring. Duck walked up to the lemonade stand and he said to the man, "Run in the stand. Hey, bum, bum, bum. Got any grapes? Shall we see what Mike wanted then? I'm not sure what he wants."
Yeah.
Hi, what's up?
I just felt like you could use like a good drive and chill.
Honestly, I really could. I gotta do something in...
But that's why I was trying to do it without your eyes open, because I was gonna speak freely, I guess. You know what I mean? Because like we used to do that a lot when your eyes were closed, and you would like vent about some shit, and then like I would be honest, you know.
Yeah.
Like I also don't want to like put you out.
Okay, I mean, if you're not comfortable, that's fine.
No,
I
no,
gotta
no,
go in
it's
a
not
few minutes
that.
anyways, but...
Yeah, no, it's not that though. It's not that it's me uncomfortable. It's just like sometimes it's easier to speak freely when there's not eyes, because then like you can say what's really on your mind. You know what I mean? Instead of having to worry. And I mean, I don't mind. I do enjoy chilling with you, eyes open or not. You know.
Okay.
Oh, I just probably won't speak as freely, but like, if I'm being honest, I don't know. It's just want to make sure you're good because I like having you around. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Okay, well, I gotta do some stuff in a little bit anyways, so I can do later.
Yeah, we can do whatever. Like, I don't mind. I just, I don't know. I appreciate you as a friend.
You
know?
too.
All right, do your thing, and then I'll be around. I've been drinking a little, but I don't think I'm gonna go to bed anytime soon. So I'll be around next storm as well. So I'll hit you up. All right?
Okay, no worries. I'll see you then.
All right, later, homie.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Up, down, left, right, BA start.
Well Anyway, Crystal T, thank you very much for the 8-month resub. Welcome back. Momageddon, thank you for the 28 months resub. Jesus, that's a long time, Momageddon. Thank you. Look at all these green lights we're getting. Now, like, thank you very much too. I appreciate it, you guys. Rich Gaming, Baz, Mallow Meerkat, Jarilla, Cloud. Thanks so much, guys. I appreciate it. Cosboy, thank you for the 10 gifted subs too. Ooh. Damn, I'm sad we didn't get to go on a chase or anything. I actually so genuinely enjoy going on ride-alongs and stuff.
Up, up, down, down, left, right,
Hi,
left, right,
Dad.
BA
Thank you for the
start.
6-month resub too. Welcome back. Yeah, I'm still sort of shocked about everything that happened with the Jasper case. I don't know. Are you guys do you guys feel like satisfied with how it ended? You can be honest, by the way. Yes and no? Yeah, I'm not sure. I think I feel satisfied with it. I think it was a good ending. I just think that hang on, let me put on push to talk. Actually, I'm muted. Let me answer this. Deafen.
Up, up,
Like
down,
I
down, left,
think
left,
that
right, BA start.
it was a good ending. But at the same time, I don't know. It's sort of, I don't know. Like, I know with Ash the character, we're sort of left with a what now kind of thing, right? Because it's all over. It's all over and everything. But what now? Jasper's dead, so we probably have to be good with it now. But then, oh my gosh, his final fucking words to the crowd and to Ash, that was terrifying. What a fucking terrorist, emotional fucking terrorist, man. So, Nash can heal right. Whoa. Court rushed. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's because Court felt rushed. So it felt a little bit more dissatisfying than usual. Hang on, let me put on push to talk so I don't fucking annoy these guys. Push to talk. I don't even know what my push to talk button is. Hopefully it's this button. Oh, we're in a private call, so I can't even like do the overlay for Discord. Where's somewhere that we can go to log out? Let me just creep over here somewhere. Okay, this seems like a good little place to nap. Okay, let's just quit out. Okay. Okay, well, guys, I don't have anything to put on the screen besides chat. I wasn't prepared for this at all. Guys, please, before we go any further, disclaimer, I am operating on about 2.5 hours of sleep. I'm at the sort of sleep where I'm a bit shaky and a little bit, like, almost drunk. So I'm not quite all here, so please forgive me for that, if you will. Please forgive me for that.
Up, up, down, down, left, right, BA start.
Alright, let me... Oh, I'm nervous about talking to all these guys. I get anxiety, man. It's so bad. I don't know these people. Ash, the character, knows them, but I don't know them. Oh, God. Spooky, thank you for the 10 gifted subs too. Okay, so hang on, let me change the category and everything fast so that I can procrastinate. Oh, God, just chatting.
Up, up, down, down, left, right, BA start.
Let's do podcast, with, can I just put Jasper case? Jasper arc. People. Wait, why is under just chatting has the subcategory, or the subcategory IRL? That's weird. This isn't real life, is it? Should I put something on the screen so you guys aren't just looking into nothing? What can I put on the screen? Do I have any images? Properties?
left, right, BA start.
Do you guys... I might just add random images as we go. Okay, this'll do. Okay, let's just put this. There we go. Okay, we'll just put that there. Alrighty. Okay, that one can just go right there. Alright.
Ooh, I knew I was gonna be there
Oh,
for at
too
least an
loud.
hour and a half.
How's it going?
Down, left, right,
Oh,
BA
here you are.
hey,
I was
what
about
up?
to go into your channel and yell at you.
Yeah, well, I had to procrastinate.
Okay.
You got to walk in the rain because.
I don't
Flap
know
left
any of
her.
you guys how scary this is.
What do you mean?
What do you
don't
mean?
know
What?
I thought you all said it was out of character. Why is everyone speaking in their characters' voices?
Yeah, I'm What?
Okay.
Because we're not all as talented as you, goddammit.
Yeah,
Oh,
fuck you,
Jesus.
Mike.
Cat, you don't have 20 character voices all set and ready to go.
I feel called out. Fuck
Listen,
you,
Flop
Mike.
over the years has gone from this high pitched character to like just a slightly more upbeat me.
All right. Well. So, Jasper's dead.
Is he?
What?
Is
He's
he?
never alive.
Shut up, shut up, Mike.
I was just talking about that with my chat, actually.
Wow. Okay. So, Mike, you may as well kick it off with everything for it and
What?
the start.
I don't even know what I'm doing here.
Oh my gosh, she sounds so different.
Listen, the difference between this and Cord is that you can say
I forget
whatever
that
you
people
want here.
sound
There are
different.
no objections.
Mike, why'd you bring Jasper back?
Oh, that's a very good question. So actually, there
I
was that
hate
big
how
hiatus.
that is.
right, BA start.
I took the big hiatus of like almost the entire year off of 3.0, and when I came back, I wanted to start with another serial killer and kind of test the waters to see how much had changed since 2.0 because investigations in 2.0 were
Guys, let me know if I need to adjust
non-existent
anyone,
pretty
okay?
much. Even though Bass and Knight handled it extremely well. And then, so when I started the copycat, there was no intention on me ever bringing Jasper back. It was going to be a short, shitty copycat, a handful of videos of my favorite cassettes, and then boom, he'd get caught and it'd get done. But I don't know, it
I'm making
kicked
a
off more
collage,
than I thought it
guys.
would, and it was like, there's potential here to bring Jasper back and kind of try to rekindle some of those old flames from 2.0. And yeah, I was like, if he makes it to 5 kills and we'll do some shit about the pentagram, I don't know anything about Satanism. That's not real to me. So I tried to cook up something that made enough sense because it doesn't, none of it makes sense, right? Then yeah, here's where we ended up. So
I'm just changing my batteries. Give me a sec. Okay.
Your batteries
So-
for what?
oh, you didn't hear any of that? You want me to repeat it?
No, I heard it.
Okay.
All right. So, at what point did you decide to bring him back, though?
I'm scared to talk because my push
For
to
all
talk
of that.
button is my back button.
Like, what was
and
your
I've got
turning
nowhere on
point
my
to
screen
decide to bring
put my
Jasper
mouse.
back?
Left, right, BA start.
Maybe getting Reggie involved. Because
Okay.
when with the copycat, there wasn't really any intention on bringing. I didn't know any of the cops. I didn't know who was around. So it kind of started out with Dan Faley again. Holy, and then meeting Reggie in prison on my DOC, and it was like, well, there's a copycat, and
You've
it
got
was just
no
it
idea
blew
how
up from
happy I
there.
was when that happened.
I don't
When I-
understand
when I
how he
saw you,
changes his
like,
voice
heard
so
your
good. It's
DOC
crazy,
talk,
man.
I'm
Bubble
like,
of
no
energy, thank you
fucking
for
way.
the
Mike's
resub.
back. I was only just saying that today as well.
I kind of want to ask if we can go into a Sava.
It was yeah, it kind of skyrocketed the storyline, and it was like, well, shoot, I can't end it now because I had 3 other serial killer storylines ready, but I was enjoying remaking Jasper's cassettes into videos, and it was like, what if we bring him back and an admin doesn't message me and be like, hey, you're not allowed to do that, because I was fully expecting that.
I mean, honestly, I think the way that you tied it in was really cool. Out of curiosity, what was the average time it took to make one of those videos? Because I know it took you time.
Do you think
30
I
to
can
40
ask them to
hours.
change the color
Holy
thing?
fuck, dude.
That's writing the script,
I'm gonna do
and then I would do Jasper's
gonna do it.
vocals, and then I would do the sound effects, half of them, enough to like get a baseline.
I'm gonna do it.
Rockstar Editor to do all the animations,
I'm
and
gonna do it.
then exporting that into
At
Adobe
some point.
Premiere, and then tying like the last sound effects in and the victims' vocals.
Hey, can I be really annoying?
Sure.
Can I move us into a server so I can add the overlay to my stream?
I did that by just cropping out Discord. You're gonna ruin all my beautiful art of crop?
Do you want me to teach you to just put it on your overlay?
Yes, I would love that.
Come here.
Oh.
But now they're gonna see all the shit talking that you did about Mike in there.
Oh shit, okay, hang on, let me quickly scrub it. Let me see.
Okay, fucking of course Chris goes in there and says first.
Listen, someone needs to do it.
Okay,
That's so fucked
I
up.
deleted his message.
No one will ever know what just happened, but that is so fucked up.
Alright, I'm moving in there.
Let me make the overlay for it. Small avatars, copy,
Okay, what's the secret?
add a browser. Let me make sure this works.
Are we sharing
Discord.
secrets?
Yeah, what secrets?
I don't have any secrets.
Okay.
Do you guys want to know it? I know this is a spoiler, but you want to know a really big secret?
What?
I mean, this is like next level.
Mabel is Jasper?
Like what?
What? Mabel's
know
Jasper's
Dad.
mum.
I'm gonna go ahead and say it. All right. I know there was that big thing about, hey, third time's a charm, see you soon, Ash. But I actually have no intention on bringing Jasper back again. So
Hey, nice spoiler
What?
Great. Gonna put me
Yeah.
into like emotional
damn it.
distress. You
there. You have
motherfuckers.
ruined
Look,
eons
I
of
just-
meta chat. You have no idea.
Meta chat will never recover from this one.
Hello,
I'm gonna hear
I
about
think
this in
Meta
6
Chat is
months.
gonna really understand or accept this.
It's okay.
They're gonna
this
still
isn't meta.
believe.
This isn't meta, right? It's not canon. That's it. I quit meta chat.
What?
Oh,
What do you mean
shit.
this isn't meta?
This
What?
isn't canon. What, you
What?
think Ash the fucking character is sitting here talking to you? You should know who the fuck you are.
Wait, they're different people?
Okay, buddy.
Okay, back on track. Alright. So,
Back to adding cats. To
who was the first
screen.
cop that got involved in the first kill that Alvin did?
Hi.
So it was you. You got straight involved from the start.
Was the
Yes.
first kill the one on the beach?
No, it was Dutch London.
Oh, okay.
That sounds
Okay.
like a.
What were your thoughts initially with it?
Oh, I'm
Were you
thinking
like,
of Dutch
shit,
fucking
not
oven.
again.
serial killer?
Yeah.
No, because I actually do like serial killer cases when it's more than just, oh, it's a dead body here.
okay, well,
And-
scratch my next
Hello,
idea.
Kung Fu.
Don't you do that to me. Don't you do it. But with just like how
already add
Mike
this one?
presented the evidence and
I
the
love this
fucking
one.
videos, I was like, okay, this is someone that's putting in a shit ton of time. I'm gonna put another shit ton of time and also try and make sure that everything is done
Oh,
properly
ignore all
and
these. It's gonna do
all
it
the
a few
reports are as much information as I could squeeze out of every single scene.
He does put a lot of time into your stuff. That's why I appreciated Jasper originally. As much as I had to pull apart his work and make it look
No,
like
this is not my cat.
the
This
police
is
had
just a
no
random
evidence,
cat from the
nothing,
internet.
blah, blah,
It
blah.
has a
and
name. I
just
forget the
make
name of it though.
So he
Tori,
was
thank
just
you
telling
for
a
the 3 month
story. It was
resub.
still so interesting from
Kung
both
Fu, thank you
sides,
very
and it's
much,
why
too.
I continued to get involved in it, because like you're just amazing at the shit you do, and you actually care about putting the time and effort into it.
I also spoke on this earlier during the shooting. I was saying that it's amazing how much you incorporate everybody. When Jasper took Ash, I think since I've been on the server, I've never seen a frenzy happen so badly on the server at the same time. Legitimately was the biggest shit show I think I've ever dealt with.
I
And it
felt
was so
so
cool to
bad.
see.
Somebody said to
No,
me it was like a server event. I felt terrible
it
too.
literally it was a server
I
event.
felt
I have
terrible
never
about
seen
that.
so many people. It was so hard to justify seeing people just 911 being like, "Hey, I'm killing Jasper when I see him." And it was like, "Okay, how do we stop this one from
I
happening?"
didn't know about that.
It was one of those like, if it happens, I guess, cool. But at the same time, it was like, how do we control this? And we couldn't. It was so bad from the cop side. It was impossible to have any control over.
I, yeah, it was crazy to see. Like, I don't think, and Mike could probably be able to say the same, is I don't think I've seen so many people get involved in a kidnapping like that before in the server. It was wild.
Absolutely not. It was different.
I don't think any of us expected it to be that crazy either.
Well, I think that like most people, it's so like, oh, I got kidnapped. Oh, for a bank, okay. You know what I mean? So people, I think, forget that it can be more. You know, so it was unexpected.
Yeah.
I've also had those type of kidnappings where the person's gone for a couple of days, and generally there's an initial rush of a couple of people trying to look for them, and then it's just like no one's looking after that initial rush. This was the first one where it's like continuously looking for Ash and making sure every stone is underlooked or looked at.
You get at best an hour or two with people, and then people give up and move on with their day. Even a lot of the times in PD, when people have like an ICU, we don't even hear about it until 3 weeks later when they're out of the ICU. It's like, oh, that person was in the ICU. So a lot of the times, the hunt doesn't even happen. So it was interesting to see that this one was over the course of days.
I was actually worried about that when setting up the scene. I was like, dude, people aren't stopping. They're just gonna happen across it while we were setting up. We gave the time frame of when everyone knew when it was going to be released, and it was like they're going to be scouring the city immediately after that restart.
Yeah,
and just walk across it and ruin it.
I knew where it was going to be just from the things that he had said, but I wanted to also just wait for the video instead of just trying to rock up there and ruin stuff. Like you could tell with a lot of the stuff that Jasper had said to Reggie along the way that was most likely going to be the place, is the chicken factory in Polito. But I also didn't want to ruin the storyline coming together, because to me that would kill the storyline. And I know that a lot of people were pissed off that Reggie got taken, and why didn't you just pull out a gun and shoot him? And I've explained this several times on my stream, is that I'm going to enable people to put effort into RP like that, and I would hate to kill their storyline without giving them something back, because that's not how RP works to me. RP works with the fact that you need to take into account the other person and somewhat of what they want. And if they're offering a lot to you, why fuck it all up straight away?
And I believe we discussed it at some point, but I also felt like as an outsider to your character, not knowing your character, opposed to what my character would know about him, I feel like it would make sense for a character like Reggie to freeze in that moment. I felt like it made a lot of sense for the character too.
Oh, it did, and that's the part. Everything that I did was well within Reggie's character, because you got Reggie that's a cocky dickhead that had his world rocked from Jasper with Bree, and almost lost Bree originally for it, and always vowed that he was going to kill Jasper. Lost the chance to do it, and then would always pipe up on the talks with him, but then as soon as he came in front of him, it's one of those oh shit moments. And everyone has an oh shit moment. Doesn't matter how big or tough you are, you'll have an oh shit moment where you'll be like, fuck. And during that time, well, you don't know how you're going to react completely to it, and you can do something completely out of the norm. That's exactly what it was for it.
can tell you guys a secret.
It really was something
I was
interesting.
so glad.
I think between
that
Reggie
Jasper
and
stabbed Ash.
Ash's kidnappings, a lot changed. I feel like there
I
was
was
a
so
time when
glad.
things slowed down. And
So
a
that
lot
I
of it
didn't
was
get the, "Why
literally,
didn't
I
you
mean,
shoot your
jokes
gun?"
aside, it was literally a cat and mouse for a while. And then all of a sudden it was like out of nowhere, it was like rapid fire. And I think we even had a hard time scrambling to try and like find all of our buttons on the ground because it was like just all of a sudden we were like double timing it trying to figure out what the fuck to do.
Actually, I'm going to answer it now. So someone asked if Jasper had a perma condition when he met with Reggie after Ash was found. So the Trim Ash thing is, would you have permed if Reggie killed you there?
That's a good question, actually.
Which part was this?
At Trim Ash.
This was toward the end, right?
Big showdown.
Yeah.
Facts, people are super judgmental.
It
Oh,
was
it's terrible, man.
I went into that expecting a trap.
Make this one a bit smaller.
A perma would have been iffy though, like because I wanted this to go to trial.
Yeah.
That was the end goal this time around. Like Jasper didn't get it the first time. This time, no matter what, we have to see out a trial, which is otherwise I could have perma'd to Chico right then too.
Honestly, my thought process was that you were going to. I didn't know, but I was like, this would be an interesting way for him to go. So
Well, the only thing for me is like I could understand why Reggie could be a perma condition. Just as an FYI, those who don't know, had Jasper stabbed or downed Reggie during that scenario, it was going to be a one two-sided die roll. So a 50-50 on whether or not Reggie permas do it. So there was some very fucking high stakes there for me, and that's something that I
Top
already
right's my
had as a
favorite.
perma
Wait.
condition to do with Reggie.
This one?
So
I like
it
this
had
one. I use
something
that.
gone down the opposite way, which Jasper had plenty of chance to do. Because much to contrary belief, no one knew exactly where Reggie was going. Reggie didn't tell anyone. He just left. So it was one of those things where if Jasper does do it and attacks Reggie again, then that's it. That was a high stakes for me, just being involved in that little bit. I was somewhat concerned on whether or not it happened, but if it happened and I flipped the coin and it was perma, that's it.
That's interesting.
The nail gun was an interesting touch. If Jasper would have went out by nail gun, it's just like, I'm not gonna scream like Bree did.
That would have been great.
I actually dropped Reggie's gun on the way there too. Made sure he didn't actually have a firearm on him.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Simma, did you know Flop's perma condition?
No.
I had a perma condition throughout the entire investigation, and I said I wouldn't talk about it till it was over.
Oh, good.
And
so
I
it's
brought it
not
with
an
chat
email.
after Jasper was put in, and put a little risk in talking about it because usually I wait till after these things to talk about them. I said that if at any point Flop pissed off Reggie enough that Reggie were to stab Flop, I would have done a 50-50 roll on perma.
God damn, why didn't you tell me?
I
would
know.
have just done it. Fucking
I
God.
know.
Yeah, you would just stab him. That's why I didn't tell you.
Exactly, pussy. But
I
put,
totally missed it.
wow. No,
I totally
so
missed
I
what he
said
said.
because Flop was the main person communicating with Reggie and Ash, I had said that if Reggie gets pissed off enough with Flop that he just stabs Flop, I'd be willing to do a 50-50 roll on perma Flop.
Oh my god, Reggie wouldn't do that though.
This was before he was a judge, though.
You kidding me?
There was a lot of times where I thought
Yeah.
Reggie was gonna just stab Flop because he just kept talking.
No shit.
Reggie used to beat the fuck out of Flop all the time at Harmony. It'd be no
If
different.
you knew the pat, I mean, honestly, the fact, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'll say no. I'm shocked Flop ever was allowed to hold this case with the past that Reggie and Flop had.
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
I think it was only because, and Zach, you could say different, but it was probably
Did you
more
guys
that
know
Reggie
that?
was so stubborn that he was not going to talk to anyone else or deal with anyone else.
I thought that was an interesting touch, and I think it confused the PD too for a while. That when it came to, well, this person's gonna go talk to Reggie, and Reggie turned around and went, nope, I'm only talking to Flop. it became a weird like,
You
okay,
can
Flop.
see why though, right? It was either
Oh yeah,
Flop or
no.
Hayes. Like originally, Hayes was very iffy for Reggie, but
Mhm.
then when Hayes
Did that ever really
was
change though?
around,
Let's be honest.
no, it did.
I
It
considered
definitely did.
palmering Ash,
Okay,
Because
fair.
but
Reggie,
then I was like,
like, he
nah.
tried with Espinosa, and Espinosa and Daisy pissed Reggie off like substantially with because he went to Daisy first because Daisy was around during his time, and then nothing happened. And then he went to Hayes and wanted Flop there because Flop was someone they knew and he hadn't spent much time with Hayes before. And then eventually over time it grew more to if it's either Hayes or Flop.
Yeah, that
But
was an interesting dynamic, and it was one that no one ever questioned. It was just like, okay, our CI only wants to talk to these two people, and usually like people have a question like, why would they only want to talk to them? No one batted an eye in PD. It was just like, okay, this is what we
because
need
they
Because
to
just didn't
when
want to
accommodate.
deal with Reggie.
No one wanted to
Yeah.
deal with Reggie.
Yeah.
pretty much no one
Yeah.
wanted to deal with it, or nobody was like, I'm gonna change Reggie's ideas of who he's gonna talk to. So
Well, the thing that I
That's
think
funny.
Flop and Hayes went into knowing about Reggie was that when you go into talking to someone like Reggie, Ash was very much so kind of the followed a lot with Reggie. But when Reggie said something, you couldn't tell him no. You just kind of said okay, and then found a way to work around what he was saying. Because I think a lot of people would try and change Reggie in the moment, and you have to learn quickly that you can't change Reggie's opinion.
Yeah, because
When he
he's a
says something,
stubborn
he means
prick.
it. No shit. There are a few moments where I'm like, I'm gonna kill him now.
Yeah, I wanted to like give more RP to the PD in a sense, like of involving other people instead of trying
What
to
are
shut
Ash
them
Cave's
out.
family
But then
conditions?
there was
I'm
some
not going to
times
talk
where
about
I
them
couldn't
because then you
ignore
guys are
the
going to
fact
tell
that
people and they're just going to kill
um,
Ash.
Reggie would
aren't
be pissed
they?
off about a cop not dropping everything and doing something now for him. And like Flop even
When
had
did
to
Scud
deal
get
with it
hit?
too
Scud is
himself.
here. He hasn't
There
said
was a time
anything
there
yet,
where
though. I don't
Reggie
know
was
if he knows
incredibly
that he's
pissed
not
off at
talking.
Flop because Flop wasn't doing what he wanted right now. That's not a fault of the cop. That's just Reggie being a dickhead and how he is.
He might have just
Sure.
wanted to be nosy.
yeah, I remember those conversations of just being like, Reggie, you're no,
Now,
no, Reggie, wait.
this is a good question as well. Is what were your thoughts on bringing Flop into it, who was just a patrol cop, into such
He
a
was a
large
cadet.
case? Even then,
For
yeah.
for Hayes, a lot of the time is the person gonna put the time into it? Are they gonna do an okay job at what they're doing? And can I yell at them if they're not doing a good enough job to get them to do a good enough job and teach them to do enough for the case? And Flop meets all those requirements. I can yell at him, I can make fun of him, I can do pretty much anything I need to do to get him to go on the right course, and I can also talk him down.
Who does
So-
Scud play? Scud
Flop a
plays Scud.
bitch.
Okay, so I was the
100%.
dog and you held the leash.
Would this-
Okay,
would
Yes.
this
I
helpful?
understand. This is
Hey,
bullshit.
Hayes told you that you were Reggie's handler, and Hayes was handling Reggie's. So
It really was. It
Is
was like
Hayes
this
like
like tiered
HAYES?
relationship between Hayes, Flop, Reggie, and
think
then
so.
the difficult part
'Cause
for Flop
James
throughout the
Hayes
whole
is
thing was getting
HAZE.
Ash to talk to Flop. And I'm sure Ash, you can speak on this too, but I
Is
think a big
helpful?
part of this was Ash very much listens to Reggie with a lot and takes Reggie's advice over
Does she
others. And
though?
No, she doesn't. She literally does
Okay.
the opposite, and I sit there molding all the time.
hold on. Let me clarify. The amount of times Flop has spoken to Ash and Flop's like, "What can I do to help you?" And Ash is like, "I want Reggie." I'm like, "Okay." I could never just have a regular conversation. And I think it was a cool dynamic to know that Reggie was always there to like help aid the conversation,
I don't
even
know how to
if
change my own
Ash
nickname.
usually goes against Reggie.
Yeah, Reggie's her security blanket.
Yeah.
It's it was funny
Is that
because
helpful?
as much of an asshole Reggie is, he always throughout that whole thing had Ash's best intention. Ash's, blah! He always kept Ash in the forefront of his mind on what he was doing to try and keep her like protected and sorted. And being Reggie is sometimes he's stupid and doesn't always look at things the correct way, which then can cause harm to people. And he thinks that he's knows what he's doing all the time, but has learnt over time that maybe what he thinks isn't always going to be best, and he needs to listen to other people, which has been a good arc to pull him through, and something he's had to actually learn.
Which is a cool dynamic. I think it's a cool art to go through because there's a lot of rough roads with that.
Okay, so here's another question. If Ashkay died, would Reggie have killed Jasper?
Well, that's
So
a good question.
now I can talk about it. I was given an AWM, which is a one-shot sniper rifle from incredible distance that you guys probably know from Michael Simone's stuff. And I was given that and the okay and all clear to use that in the event of Jasper going to trial. However, I ended up getting judged, and then I had to stop that because of, oh, see, I can't do that shit.
Wasn't that great timing?
That was fucking shit timing, man. That was shit timing. So I had this
It
whole
was
thing.
beautiful timing.
No,
I
it
had
was
this
great. It saved
thing
the whole
planned
case.
out. Well, no, what it was going to be was after he was sentenced, then that's when Reggie was going to do it. And someone would have gone up to Jasper, preferably Ash,
Arabelle, thank
say
you
their
for the
final
13 month
words,
resub.
and then he'd just end up dropping down on the ground. And it would be this whole of who did this, and then it's going to link back to an AWM that's linked then again to Michael Simone. So basically, if Reggie got caught from that, he was so far fucked it's not funny. Because the only other person that's been caught on the server with an AWM is to do with Michael Simone. So then that bring a whole investigation of terrorism and Reggie helping him. That's why I also made it evidently clear that Reggie was helping Michael by being his lawyer, so it left that link there too. So I was leaving little breadcrumbs along the way to further that storyline instead of it just being a sniper rifle from nowhere shooting them down. That's it, it's over. And I wanted it to go to court. I've always wanted Jasper's thing to go to court. I didn't want it to end without
Do
him
you guys have
having
any
a court day
questions, by
because
the
I know
way?
that he didn't get it last time.
How to think about it, because I gotta pee.
I think the court day was cool.
So in short, Reggie would have definitely killed Jasper.
I gotta be right back. I gotta pee, you guys. Think about a question
I'll
if you
hold
want.
off on
I'll
that
ask it for
question
you.
because someone asked how Ash the streamer felt about her rescue, but I'll hold off on that for a minute.
Oh, there's a question for you, Flum. What did you think when Reggie moved close to you when he was in the hospital?
I was just about to read that.
Oh.
So I don't know if you noticed in the impact statement Flop gave today.
I heard it.
Okay. The most impactful moment Flop had in the entire case, because Reggie and Flop had I don't want to say a falling out, but they had their really rough tensions throughout the case, and that was the first time Reggie actually opened up to Flop and really showed like raw emotion.
That's the
and
first time Reggie's ever done it.
Yeah.
As
And
an FYI, as a character, since I've had him, that is the first time Reggie's ever done something like that.
I'm back, you guys.
Yeah, and
Oh my
honestly,
God.
it was the
I
most
ran.
impactful moment for the character.
I'm
think
kind of
throughout the
out of
entire
breath. I
investigation.
ran.
I think there are a lot of moments that like are memorable and won't be forgotten to the character, but the one that he'll always take away was that,
That was
even if
possible. I'm
Reggie
not a fucking
had a
boy. I'm
soft spot
standing
and
there
doesn't
playing
now,
with
to
it.
know that Reggie was willing to
Pee, I
open up his
flush, I
arms
wash
to
my
the
hands,
PD
I
to begin
run.
with, and to look at Flop as a
Especially
friend
when I'm streaming. I don't like
non-verbally,
you know,
I think was
leaving
one
while
of the
I'm
most
streaming.
memorable moments for the character, for sure.
That's like Reggie's first.
Oh shit, I guess I need to tell them that I'm back too, huh?
So Reggie doesn't like people touching him, right? And the amount of times that people were able to touch him during that phase was incredibly difficult as me, as the person that controls him, to allow that to happen, because I'm so trained in Reggie doesn't let anyone touch him. So having Reggie have those emotions through that, and it was incredibly hard for me to keep him on that same path. Because it's not natural for that character, which when it's not natural for the character, it makes it hard for you to continue doing. But it challenged me a lot through that.
I think that was one of those unnatural moments for the character, which made it so impactful. I think that was like one of those moments
But I don't want to interrupt
where
them talking. It's kind of awkward.
Reggie did something that was unnatural to his personality, but it was that raw emotion that you can like have a big takeaway from.
Nah, Reggie's a teddy bear.
Oh my.
Welcome back, Ash.
Yeah, thanks.
It's the first time I've heard of that. What were your thoughts when you saw Reggie acting like that, Ash?
Wait, acting like what?
How he was after he came back after being attacked.
Who? My thoughts or my thoughts
Yeah.
with what I was saying with Ash?
Well, with Ash, your thoughts, I always say it doesn't really matter. It's kind of irrelevant.
It was heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking. But it was kind of one of those things where, like, Ash hasn't viewed Reggie the same way as Reggie's viewed himself, or other people have viewed him, right? Never. I mean, with Reggie and Ash, we've had a pretty, honestly, pretty close relationship. So, like, with Ash, the character, we knew that Reggie was not incapable of those feelings and didn't just not have those feelings and didn't have that vulnerability. He just wouldn't show it. So it was heartbreaking in that he was because he didn't want to, if that makes sense.
Reggie, the person who is self-proclaimed sociopath.
He's not a sociopath. He just uses that so he doesn't have to admit weakness.
Which is also weird for me because I got to know Reggie during the farmer arc, so everyone always talks about crazy, like, psycho Reggie, and I was like, just a dude I hang out with in the woods, man.
No.
It's funny though,
Doing a
like if you
podcast.
guys, like Flop knows this, if you guys had experienced Reggie through 2.0 to 3.0 and through this arc,
It was Ash when she was
and
kidnapped.
like even
I'm just gonna answer this without telling
Mike
them.
experienced
I
what
was
Reggie
driving
was
in the
like
car,
back in
moving
2.0.
houses.
There's such a difference
There was a
between the
point where I
character now.
guess she would have been able to be
what he
found,
was.
but not really, no.
He
Actually, I guess
really
there was a couple of
changed
points.
heavily, and honestly, I think in how Reggie was early 3.0 to how he changed. I mean, literally as a character. I mean, from management at Harmony to really like focusing on Law, I think was a really interesting time for the character to have a really like huge dynamic change in his feelings toward other people.
So Mike, how'd you go with having Grizz as a lawyer?
That was fucking hilarious.
Let's move this one.
Can I just say real quick before you answer?
I'm down.
Those final words to Grizz made my entire.
He didn't even do a statement. Fuck that guy.
I didn't even know he was there. I didn't see him the entire. I guess I never looked left, but yeah, he's like, oh, and I was like, wait, what?
I mean, words to it was great.
He did better at being a lawyer than Jasper did. That's for damn sure.
I don't know. I don't know.
I would like to think a lawyer would do better at being a lawyer than Jasper.
Well, Jasper does everything
would've-
perfect.
I think you would have
bad
done.
for you in that court case.
Yeah, I think you would have done better had you have known the limitations of more what you could do.
Punishment, thank you so much
I
for the
think
5
that,
gifted subs.
Jasper, then this is something that I was talking with Chad about, is that there's the potential that Jasper spent all of his time in prison learning law. So we could understand it all.
Yeah, that was my concern.
That's what I was worried about, was you've got a lot of spare time, so you could have just,
I think Jasper would have done better. Yeah, I'm not
No,
sure.
that's too much work. Learn law for one court case so Jasper can die.
Shut up. You want to make Mabel a lawyer.
Oh, yeah, that'd be so nice.
Oh, my God.
Have you guys met my agent paralegal with
no.
Ash?
Oh, no.
No.
We're fucked.
Is this gonna be another lawyer that I cannot listen to, like Grizz?
Listen, Grizz is my favorite comedic value by far. Because I knew today, even when he was like, Your Honor, do I have time to talk this over? Or whatever he was saying after the verdict was put. I was like, Grizz is just looking for the no from Holden. Because he got shut down immediately.
Chris having the
I
same kick
miss
juice in
Maybell
court.
too.
Yes, that was great. That was something.
I missed that. What the fuck?
Yeah, they were talking about Winsong's can of milk.
Oh, we heard about this at the
Wrangler's
PD meeting. And I was
conservatorship.
I was so confused about that in the meeting today. They were talking about it. I'm like, what the fuck did I just hear?
Yeah. I don't know. I think that it would have been cool to see Jasper know a lot more about law and really start nailing that down a little bit and
It
throwing
was just so
everyone
rushed.
off.
There wasn't enough time.
He started off strong, and I was like, oh, he did do his homework. Fuck.
Honestly, I think the way that he reacted to his verdict, I think the way that Jasper reacted was exactly how I anticipated him doing it, and just laughing it off was something else.
Oh, it was terrifying.
Oh, it was great. It was so
it was very
so
fitting.
Jasper.
Yeah.
Because not a lot of people would have that reaction. Even I think you threw Holden off too, which I feel like for someone like Holden, he probably doesn't see often because I think he was startled by it too.
Thing that
It's
Maybell
like,
was
it's
saying,
something funny, Alvin,
Gem?
and it's like, yes, this
Something?
entire thing is fucking hilarious.
Because
If
this
you
is
had-
what Alvin wanted.
That's quite okay.
If you had your time back, would you take the court case a different way?
Yes, I have never. I've done one court case my entire 3 years on No Pixel, and it was on leave for drug trafficking. So I had no idea what like recalling was. Like, just none of the videos being brought up and like really talked about in depth, and then knowing that I could have gone up on the stand. Like, I was waiting to be called as a witness, and everyone's like, oh, the Fifth Amendment or whatever, like, he doesn't have to say anything. It's like, but they didn't even ask me. Like, yeah, of course Jasper would go up there. Why wouldn't he? Like, what are you gonna
Isn't
say?
it a
Was it
rule
you
where
on
we
the
can't
other?
actually ask the defendant to come up to the stand
Yes.
as prosecution?
Yeah, so you can't get the defendant to come up and force them to waive their Fifth Amendment right. So then that only leaves it for when their defense's side.
Holy cats, yeah, I didn't have any
I
of
think
that on
Jasper would have
screen, so
won
I
if he
put
went up
cats on there.
on the stand.
Oh, 100%.
Because listen, the entire court case was about phone calls, right? From unknown numbers, and then it's like, Jasper, were you the one making these phone calls? No. Oh, there you go. You lost your whole case. Wasn't me on the other end. Prove it.
I think a lot of it, though, I think a lot of our approach, and I say our, but really a lot of what Flop's take was for the prosecution was questioning Ash. I was there for some of it, but I wasn't there for all of it, so I can't take a lot of the credit. I think a lot of the prosecution's approach, though, was linking the things said in the phone calls to things that were mentioned in videos and trying to link everything together to show that like there's a consistency, which
Mm.
could have easily been proven on your side to, say, hey, that wasn't me.
No, these are not my cats.
But I think that our argument was about as good as we were
I
going to
don't know
get.
if I have any pictures of
And
my
I think
cats on my
that
computer,
if you had
actually.
an opportunity to try and fight it, I think you would have had the opportunity to change the outcome to the verdict. I don't know if you might have gotten out of the death penalty, but I don't know if the verdict would have actually changed. It would have been interesting to see, though.
Yeah, the main thing was for prosecution to be
I'm
like,
very curious to
oh,
read the,
he's consistently
docu-post.
calling all these people that are victims. Oh, there's also evidence linking him to 3 of the crimes as well as Ash's crime. And then him being like, yeah, I did push Faith in a meat grinder and fuck Tate. Tate sucks. And
Tate does
yeah,
suck though.
look, he just liked his pudding hat, all right? The poor guy.
Tate was dressed like a little bitch.
Man, Tate was heartbreaking, dude. I surely
Dude.
thought Jasper was gonna let him go.
Dude,
Jasper
okay,
lied.
okay. 2 things. Number 1, it was so hard for Flop to keep the fact that he shot him in the face from Ash. And 2, I was really hoping during your impact statement you were gonna mention the cake, and you didn't.
I wrote my impact statement at 4 a.m. last night,
Uh-huh.
and I'm gonna be honest, it was like 700 and something words. It
Yeah,
was
mine
long.
was.
And
Go ahead.
then Sherry went up, and Flop went up, and Lucas went up, and Reggie went up, and I said to with Ash to Reggie, I said, like, is this supposed to be like hit and dip sort of thing, like quick? And he's like, no, I'm gonna say a long thing, and I was like, okay, good, I'll just say my whole thing that I wrote. And then he got up there, said like 3 words, and went back, and I was like, holy shit, I can't read off this whole thing.
3 words?
You were up there for like 20
it was a
seconds.
paragraph?
It was at least a paragraph.
I was gonna do a bit more on Reggie, and then I thought, no, I'm gonna go with the aggressive approach on Reggie, and then Ash is gonna send it home with the feels.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you add
What if
that,
I did the aggressive approach with Ash?
because you don't have an aggressive approach.
I could.
Emotionally
that's a fucking
aggressive,
lie.
I would think so.
That's a lie. So,
Listen, it was aggressive in the saddest way.
what I did was,
Did you just call us pathetic?
if you shock enough people with the things that Reggie says and with his aggressive approach, and then you turn around and you hit them with a bit more of a tender hand, which is what Ash was going to do. Ash's message hits home more to a judge from doing that.
I loved Reggie's little. I was like, what
Yeah.
the fuck is that? It was so funny.
So that's why I decided to go with that kind of approach. I was going to break everything down, and then I was like,
Yeah,
no,
I had a lot
actually,
more
I'm
to
gonna
say with
let
Ash.
send it home with this.
I had a lot more to
Can we
say.
talk about, speaking of,
But I didn't say
and
any.
I will mention, I did paraphrase my impact statement a lot because I was going to say a lot more, but I ended up skipping almost half of mine
I wish
for
you
sake
did.
of. Well, I mean, a lot of mine was talking about how Flop, was a civilian, went through some traumatic stuff, became an EMS to try and help people he knew and didn't know, and followed that through the unified police department. But I was
Would I
like, I don't think
post
people
in that
want to hear my
statement?
backstory, so I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go for just what we're here for today.
I could. Yeah, I could do that.
But I will say, out
I'd
of
have to
every impact
proofread it.
statement, Grayson's I think surprised me the most.
I felt really bad because I couldn't hear him, and I didn't want to like just be like, "Hey, can you like speak up?" I have no idea. I have no idea what he said.
Yeah, I was gonna yell out, fucking yell, because
Oh,
I'm
you
pretty sure
couldn't
he was
hear
just
him
talking
either?
normal. Yeah, he was talking normally.
Oh yeah, I
Oh, okay.
have
Well,
no idea what he said.
I understand why he did it, and I explained it to the people that were around me, because you could feel that there was tensions there. And
Sure.
the reason he did it is by being a judge, you also need to show that you do have compassion, and the death penalty isn't something taken lightly. And some of the judges disagree with the death penalty, so that's why they're going to speak out on the death penalty, not the person themselves. Which
Well,
is what he was doing.
Yeah, he's not.
Yeah.
He's not afraid of emotional torture or anything.
I will say too, I think knowing that someone was there to defend Alvin,
I think it was good that he
I
spoke.
think was nice to see too, because knowing that Alvin, and I mean, Mike, to be honest, we all know that you struggled a little bit with getting a team to actually fight the case, which was
That was
unfortunate.
upsetting.
Yeah, it genuinely was rough, but to know that Grayson was there to try and like turn around and be like, time the fuck out, I was like, holy crap. Because I don't think anyone expected it, and I think it was really cool to hear. Although Flop's mentality on the approach was Grayson's dead, because I was just thinking that Grayson's about to say some dumb
He's
shit,
dead
but
anyway.
knowing that Reggie was there to be the voice of reason probably saved someone from doing something dumb.
I think it was good that he spoke.
Oh, I agree wholeheartedly.
Mike, your thoughts on Grayson talking?
Came out of nowhere. I was expecting like some DOC to say something. I spent this entire time in prison making sure Jasper didn't act up or stab anybody, because then they could go up there and be like, "Oh yeah, Jasper's such a nice guy."
Yeah, where was
he never.
DOC?
They were dealing with something.
I even had Jasper
Oh,
save
man.
some DOC's life after he got stabbed, and Jasper went up and held pressure on the wound, and Jasper wouldn't fucking do that. And then he told someone later, "Yeah, I'm just doing this so he'll say something good at the trial." And then none of them said anything, and Jasper's just like, you know what? I wrote that whole Scarface like thing down, and as everything was going on, I was like, I'm gonna do this quote from Scarface. This is what we're gonna do.
Can we talk about your therapist arc? What the fuck was that?
GB, thank you for the month resub.
What?
You had a
About
therapist?
how you said that you wanted
Therapist.
to be a therapist.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was just
Jasper, it was bullshit. But I want to turn a new leaf. I'm gonna be a therapist. I was like, am I hearing this right? Like, what the fuck?
And she was like, no, please God, no. You're just going to tell people to start killing people. You know what? Give it up. Do it.
Yeah, he was
You know
doing
what?
great.
When you have added attention, just do it.
All the Smileys were coming to prison, and Kieran was like, "Oh yeah, I don't think I can kill people anymore." And Jasper's like, "Do it, pussy. Go stab as many people as you need to until you get that back."
Oh Jesus.
Oh my God.
Oh shit.
If only
Oh
we
my
could do
God.
the arc that
Jasper
we
think
spoke
to
about. Jasper and Reggie were talking on the phone once, and like whenever Reggie talks to Jasper, like we get off tangent very often, and we talk about some wild fucking things. And one of the things that we spoke about was is having a Reggie on a therapist arc, which he consults to Jasper's soul, and like carries Jasper around with him everywhere.
Jesus.
And then ends up being these two people that just are the most wild therapists that just fuck with people to the point where we just mentally fuck them that they start becoming serial killers themselves. We're just like, oh, we're just therapists, we're just helping them. That would have been a very entertaining arc.
Still a good idea.
It is.
I mean, if he was alive, Sag.
Uh,
I have a
DOC.
quick question for you, Mike. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, just DOC dropped the ball there.
Oh yeah, DOC definitely. That was a whole other story that we could talk about too.
Can we? Because I
but
don't
a quick
know
question
what
for
happened.
you, Mike. Someone asked, was Jasper ever close to getting caught before he finally did get caught?
Obviously not. You know how many streams I have to have pulled up? I'm totally kidding.
Fucking body cam, I got it again, son of a bitch.
15 monitors, dude.
Oh shit, Flop's coming to phase up. There was a lot of
That's the biggest
one
joke
thing.
is thinking that Flop would have done something.
My favorite thing about Jasper has been that he's so careful but so sloppy at the same time. Like all the meetings with Hannah Baker and just grabbing Reggie out front of Uwu, almost having people in the area when he grabbed Ash. Like it's never perfect, and if people could see it from my perspective, like almost every conversation I ever had with Hannah, there were people coming out there to the middle of nowhere, like the abandoned apartments or that
Dude, it
pier
happens
up.
so often to me.
It's like who's here? Why do I hear footsteps? Someone's listening right now. So by cops, I don't think that. I mean, I never got stopped by police, which was really surprising.
I'm sort of when Jasper took Ash, I don't know if you saw this, Mike, but Raul was literally right next to us. Like he saw us. It's quite lucky.
Motherfucker.
It's quite lucky that Reggie didn't answer his phone, I suppose, because
The useless cunt just tries calling me instead of just messaging saying emergency, pick up.
he was right there. Like we were so close to being caught. Like that was a bit. He was right there.
That's actually insane.
I sat out there scoping out the area looking for payphone, and I was like, okay, I think I'm gonna call as Mr. Smiley or Carcer World and see if she'll meet me out here in the middle of nowhere. And there was no one out there the entire time, and as soon as I make that phone call, it's like motorcycles, big trucks, and it's like, what is everyone doing? It's like people know.
Yeah.
So one of the fun things with SCU is when we have meetups with people, we always try and find discreet locations, and it always amazes me.
Bro, the amount of times that we do that shit, and there's
Yeah, and people like someone's fucking around, and you're like, why are people here?
Yeah.
Was going like along the bridge.
I
and I was
specifically
like,
go out of my
"Oh,
way to
shit."
find a lot of the locations that I do meetings with people, and no one's ever there. I go to meet with them, and then the next thing, fucking people are rocking up to check some fucking box. It's just like, what are you doing?
It's amazing how often that happens.
I'm not sure Rudy or Nana spotted him in Sandy without realizing it. Really?
So, another question.
No, this is
Hayes,
not my
what was your
cat.
thought about Dan almost throwing the fucking case and getting involved
I
with
can
that?
help
Oh my
answer that too.
fucking
We
God.
fucking panicked.
I'm still confused about that.
So
to be honest.
Hayes wasn't really panicking. Hayes was setting up a warpath against Dan and actually got all of SCU to agree to fucking dump Dan if he did anything.
Hell yeah, Dan.
Because it was just
Dan's
to the
reason was
point
personal.
where he was focusing on Reggie too much, and Hayes was just always like, will you fucking listen to me for 5 seconds? Reggie was helping, you were just not a part of it. Believe me. I know you didn't want me being the main on the case, but I was the main on the case, and I didn't let you take it.
Oh.
So you gotta fucking listen to me, Dan, you son of a bitch.
So there was some control
Him coming up
issues.
in court and then Ash's reaction to it is just like, okay, buddy, now you face the wrath of how Reggie is because you're fucking with Ash.
Yeah, did I fuck that up? I felt bad about that, like, the whole time after.
No, that was perfect. Like Dan coming up and being like, "Oh, how does it feel seeing your best friend up on the stand?" Just like, best friend what? Huh? Ah!
He's not even on the stand. He never got to go to the stand. I was ready for Jasper's stand rambling.
I was so ready for that too, and that killed me. I'm just like, damn it.
Well, my lawyer said we'd recommend not doing it. I'm like, well, what are they gonna ask?
Fucking Grizz.
Alice,
Hey,
thank you very much.
Alvin, are you a serial killer?
No. See,
Fuck.
easy. Not guilty.
Oh, there's the whole case going.
Yeah, shit.
Yeah.
So next one, Jasper. What did Jasper think about how crazy Seaside went after the Smileys and stuff? Were you expecting it that hard? Because that was rough.
Yeah, that got kind of out of hand.
It got way out of hand to the point where Peter was just mad at it.
we literally just let it happen at one point. We were just like, fuck it, whatever.
Not even investigating this
I
at
don't
this
even know what
point.
happened.
They're doing me a
like,
favor,
ORC,
thank you.
Because I was moving, and I never went back to
That
look.
was shit about the Smiley.
Gee,
They
if I knew it was
haven't
gonna
told Ash
blow
in
up that big, I
character.
would have saved Ash for the end. I had this idea. I already had the list. I already reached out to people. OOC, like, hey, are you down to do a video if Jasper's able to grab you in the future? And then it was like, oh, things fall in line, and then Ash gets taken, and it's like, well, you can't. No one's gonna live up to this. So everyone else I kidnap from here on out, they're not gonna get the same response, and they're gonna be like, well, why didn't anyone look for me?
Why didn't anyone look for me?
Feels bad.
Excuse me.
Are you fucking kidding me, Reggie?
As I was on a trip to a different fucking state, sitting there, Keck W. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. This man just really said that. Fuck Reggie.
My poor character had to organize so many search parties for the two of you, and it was such a nightmare.
Oh, they're so chaotic, the search parties.
Can I make a comment about the search parties?
Mm-hmm.
For the PD, obviously we expect that people are gonna do search parties. When it came to Reggie and Ash being kidnapped, I can't speak for everyone in PD, but Flop as a character was genuinely like curious about, like, he was stuck between a rock and a hard place, because while you're looking for people, because Flop was looking for Reggie and Flop was looking for Ash and finding any information and evidence. But you'll be driving in like a discreet fucking location, and a car, like a BMW, would just roll up to you and be like, yo, have you seen Reggie? And it was like, what the fuck? Everybody was looking for you guys. Every fucking person. And it became almost comical.
Out there still.
Eric,
Oh yeah,
thank you
but
very
like
much for that.
people just run out of cops and they're like,
Fucking
yo, have you
subs.
seen? And I'm like,
Thank you so
who
much.
the fuck are you? Oh, we've been looking for Reggie for 3 hours. Oh, okay. Or we've been looking for Ash for the last 2 days. Oh, okay. But it was like, it was crazy how many people were looking for you guys.
Yeah, at a certain point, it was the Uwu Cafe, which is a force in and of itself. The Lost and all the Aztecas were out, like, just swarming the whole fucking
Aw.
island. It was. I have a
Very
series
sweet.
of text messages on my phone from one guy saying, hey, I stole a boat and I went and checked the islands and I left it by this cove. And then I have a text from another guy saying, I found this abandoned boat by a cove. I don't know if it means anything. And it's just a series of all of them following each other around in circles. It was so fucking funny.
Oh, that's funny. I
That
didn't,
is
I didn't know
awesome.
about that.
Did Jasper give Carlitos a fucking knife to stab him?
Of course he did.
Because I heard you talk about it, how you're like, and it was like, yip, 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 yip.
Aw, he's such a sweet boy.
He didn't there was a prison
He's a
riot.
gangsta.
He just so happened to get arrested, and Jasper's like, here, take this shiv, and here's your chance, Carlitos. And he's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna stab them when they come through. And I was like, no, stab me. And he's like, why would I stab you? And Jasper's like, okay. Yip, 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 yip.
Yeah,
He's
I
like,
saw
oh,
that
it's
clip.
you.
He a gangsta.
There's a PD story with that too. We were in the middle of trying to get Jasper on a sealed case because we were like, Your Honor, this guy's gonna get fucked up. People want him dead. And in the middle of getting like Jasper down and everything, it became, oh, by the way, Jasper got stabbed. We were like, we fucking told you so. This motherfucker was gonna get stabbed.
I was so surprised that he unsealed that court case. I'm like, what?
Yeah,
That was amazing.
But it's also such a fucking brawn thing to do with Holden, because obviously it makes it more of a spectacle for a lot of people and gets more people involved there. But then you've also got idiots who stand in the stand and just start talking all the time, and you're kind of like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I had 3 people behind me just bullshitting, and then like halfway through, they're like, "What is this court case even about?"
Yeah,
they're just.
Well, I remember Bass when they unsealed it originally, and Bass testified about it, and he said we're gonna unseal the case. Bass literally goes, "Well, guess we're gonna see Copycat 3.0. See you guys."
Yeah.
He walked out.
I said that with Ash too. That's funny.
You guys got questions as well? Is it getting or what? Or is it just me talking the whole time?
Oh, I don't read chat.
Oh, okay.
What the fuck?
Sorry, I'm not that fucking big to not have to read chat.
You don't
My
have
bad.
to be big to read chat. What? Well, not read.
Yeah,
chat.
good point.
I just
Flop
can't
always
read.
ignores my messages.
I think I have a couple questions. Bear with me for a minute. I'm
Do
totally
you
not
guys
playing
have
another
any
video game.
questions?
He's totally
doing-
playing
Did
another
you
video
capital
game.
D
Can you bring up
colon?
Jasper's love for the Kardashians?
What?
Huh?
Do you
Look, I don't remember half the shit that was talked about on those phone calls.
Okay, so our doc had all of the notes and information in it. And one of the things that was brought up was that Flop mentioned, he's like, because you mentioned Cleo and Bryce. And Flop's like, honestly, they're like the Kardashians. You know that they're there, but you don't keep up with them. And Jasper is like, you don't keep up with the Kardashians? So I literally wrote that in notes, and forever in
Why do you hate
evidence
chat?
that was
I don't
there
know,
that
Vasily. It's probably because
Jasper
not
keeps up
enough
with the
people are
Kardashians.
subscribed. That's probably the
Oh, I
reason.
tried to get you to go
That's
after
probably
Cleo
why.
to fuck with Cleo so much. God damn
Oh,
it.
you wanted it so
I
badly. and
wanted
honestly,
it. Yeah.
Flop almost let it happen too.
I was just like, do it, pussy. So we'll probably go around for the next one. Favorite moment / call
Daniel,
in
I'll
the
try to
whole
get yours
arc.
in there. Okay? Little bit please. Thank you for the 2 gifted
Favorite
subs.
part in the whole arc, which is hard for me because there's so many different parts to it, but probably getting to be involved in an actual video because of the amount of work that I knew you put into all your cassettes before and involving all those people and everything that you did. That's probably like to be able to showcase that and to
Sean,
run
thank you
with
for the
the
5
outcomes
gifted
from
subs.
that
And Danny,
was
thank you for the
actually
sub.
really
Thanks,
cool
you
for me, and
guys.
that's probably my favorite favorite part of that whole arc is that I got to be involved in being in that. Next person.
I'm not going next.
Let's go down the list. So Scud would be next.
Well, you're at the top of the list for me.
Well, then why did you start first?
Okay. Scud?
She's right.
Favorite moment from the whole arc?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like again, I was mostly involved
I don't
in, like,
have a
the
favorite
search party
moment with
aspect
Ash.
of everything,
down,
and
left,
everything
left,
else. It
right,
was just me
start.
like geeking out because
New name. Ooh, thank you
I don't know,
for
the whole
12
thing
months
was
early
super
sub.
cool.
Welcome
I
back.
tweeted at Mike Horrible about it. Like I loved this whole fucking thing. It was amazing. But honestly, for me, it was just watching everyone lose their goddamn minds, man. Like seeing personality shift from Reggie after he got taken, like where he was just lashing out at everybody, or just screaming at everyone at every opportunity he got. It was really cool. And then Ash just, I don't know, I kind of just geeked out the whole way through. It was really, really good shit.
Walked all the way around the courtroom.
But probably Mabel fucking with everyone and
What
telling
is
a
that?
story about falling down a long ladder into a hole that sent everybody
That was like
out
the
on a
most time
fucking
I've taken
goose
off
chase.
stream in fucking
Was so funny to me.
a long time.
Because they took everything that fucking Mabel said to heart, trying to
Times
think
when
that
also
there's
not
gonna be some
realizing
kind
it's
of little
Jasper the
clue
jaw drop.
hidden in there, and I was like,
It was hilarious to me.
Oh,
Oh, that's
fuck
probably my
Mabel and her
favorite
phone
part.
calls to
Then I don't know what it would be now.
Fucking shit, Lord. Like literally, I'm standing in front of him on Reggie, and he's just like, "Oh yeah, let me just call this person." Puts the phone on loudspeaker. It's Jasper. I'm like, "Okay, dickhead. Okay, dickhead."
That wasn't canon. We retcon that.
Hayes' favorite moment.
I would say when Ash was found and everybody was just mad at Hayes, and then Jasper
why were they
was
mad at
disappointed at Hayes, and it's just like, I fucking found the person. I organized everybody. Everyone hates me. It was just great.
Wait, why were they mad at Hayes?
Oh, Reggie wanted to kill Hayes.
What? Why?
Oh yeah,
Because
that was
Reggie
the
wasn't
thing.
allowed out of the helicopter, and it was just suspended in the air.
Well, what were you
'Cause
supposed to do? Jump?
I was literally waiting for the right time for it to be low enough for Reggie to jump out without going down.
Do you want to know something?
What?
I had a timer set up on my phone, and if Ash was left hanging for longer than the timer exceeded, I would have just permed on there.
Oh, shut up, pussy! You ain't permering until there's a good Pokemon game.
I mean, there's already been 3 that I've missed.
Yeah, but they're not good ones. That's why I specified good. Okay. All right, Ash, you're up next.
Oh, so after Ash met with Alfred at the jail, I had no idea that was you, Mike. I had no idea whatsoever. And I was so I don't think I streamed it. I don't think I was live. I can't remember. I was so genuinely shocked. Like, I was so flabbergasted. I don't know if you remember that phone call. I genuinely didn't know what to say. And I just sat in the middle of the street, just like, what? So I don't know. Like the different voices are incredible.
It's definitely got a skill with that.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Chris, up.
So I have 2. I thought the moment that was discussed already, 2 things I've already kind of somewhat discussed, but I think were truly my favorite moments was one when Reggie opened up to Flop and gave him a hug, and seeing that change in character was, I think, like super cool. And the other thing was the way that Reggie pretty much retaliated about having Flop be the guy that he spoke to. Because honestly, when I found out that like SCU was handling it in a different way, I was like, okay, no problem. And I kind of just like stepped away.
Phone calls were crazy.
And then when someone reached out and they were like, Flop, we need you to come back.
Oh, Reggie went fucking ham about that.
Yeah. But when because I was so taken back by it. I was like, I'm sorry, why do you need me for this? And they're like, he only wants to speak to you. I was like, you're fucking kidding me.
That was a turning point in its own. That if Fox didn't come back to doing it, he would have handed everything over to the seaside, and they would have just taken.
Would have just let that happen.
Yeah. Because
Fucking awesome.
Did stop them a lot and block them from knowing certain things, because it was more of a, I don't want this just to go down to the gang part of just clapping me out. I want to see this whole arc go crazy.
Sure.
Which was also cool because it led to a bunch
How
of
did Flip feel about Ash
frustrations
initiate
with
him? Oh
Reggie
god,
from
I
the
don't want to
whole
ask
game.
him
Every
that.
time they found something
I don't
out
want to ask him
that
that.
Reggie already knew.
Yeah.
I have a question for you, actually, Simo.
Okay.
What was your reaction to pretty much the entirety of Seaside being like practically just fucking fed up with Reggie because he was working with the police and you weren't keeping them up to date?
I knew that he wouldn't get in that much trouble. Obviously, they would have been pissed off with him, but a lot of them understand that Reggie does things for a reason, and as frustrating as it might be for them, he still had a reasoning behind why he was doing what he was doing.
There was a lot
They
of
didn't
things
agree
that we
with the
told them
reason.
with
They were
Reggie
very
and Ash, though,
vocal
and they
about
just
that.
didn't care to listen.
But
to be honest,
I knew that Reggie was
Didn't wanna
also
know,
on thin
didn't wanna be
ice with a
part
lot
of
of the
it.
things that he was doing, because it's showing that he doesn't.
it was like, wait
trust
till we
them.
get to the end, then
But
tell us.
that wasn't
and until
so
then,
much
we'll
the
bitch
case
that we
for
don't
Reggie.
know
It
anything.
was more of a, I want to
So-
handle this in a different way for a change, and basically let
I mean,
the
that's
PD
okay. It's not
shoot
for
themselves
everyone.
in the
When
foot.
Raymond
And if they
Val
don't
greeted
shoot
Ash,
themselves
that
in the
was so
foot, then
funny yesterday, Corey,
it's good.
wasn't
If
it?
they do shoot themselves in the foot, then, well, fuck it. I know I've got a backup plan. And Reggie's always a person that loves to have backup plans. He needs to have a second plan to do with it. But I think that, oh look, Kung Fu's in chat too. Kung Fu, you're a high up of Seaside, and you're someone who had to deal with Reggie not telling you.
KG played a big part with Flop. I'd like to hear some of his input on that.
Do you want me to bring KJ in here? I can invite him to the server.
Force.
I'd be down.
I know Reckless is in the chat too.
Oh shit!
So yeah,
the man himself.
I know that that was always something that would have pissed them off, but I was also playing on the fact of that hopefully they understand and put a little bit of trust in Reggie that this will go a way that will benefit the whole case itself. While we wait for Kung Fu and possibly Reckless, like favorite part.
Oh, oh, it made it back to me. Whew.
I wasn't letting you get off that easy, bitch.
I mean, it would be easy to say that I enjoyed every single 45+ minute phone call. It's really hard to pick. I would say
there were so many phone calls, man. That I enjoyed them.
I think the peak of it, the one time that I 100% felt like something was going to go wrong and I was going to get caught, was grabbing Reggie out front of Uwu. And it was just like, I had to step out of the truck because Reggie was on his bike. And it's like, if he doesn't get in the truck with a knife, like, okay, let's scoot it along. And then Reggie puts his hands in the air, like waving people down, like, hey, look at me, I'm getting kidnapped right now. Someone.
Yeah.
And it was just driving away, constantly looking over my shoulder, like, am I being followed? Am I being followed? Am I being followed?
That was ballsy, man. Like, I don't think anyone who hasn't seen the Reggie get taken, that was very ballsy in its own.
And I think like after like finding out like that you with Jasper had followed us like during the day, and we had no idea. That was crazy.
Yeah. Oh, that was definitely something to sidetrack real quick. Does Hayes believe that Reggie didn't tell anyone that he was going there?
She's kind of speculating that he may have told some people, but at this point, she doesn't really care.
Yeah.
Didn't Matthew know?
Matthew, so Flop was the only person that Reggie called before calling Jasper. Reggie had already left, didn't tell anyone why he was leaving, and that's why, Chris, if you remember, Reggie said, "Whatever happens next,
confused.
just remember this is on you."
What?
Which
Yes.
is I was setting it up for if Reggie does get fucked up by Jasper and he dies, then that's something that Flop's going to have to live with and think about.
Wait, what are you talking? I thought you meant what?
So, some context. Reggie contacted Flop and pretty much.
Panda, thanks for
Well, I
the
forget what the
reset.
reason for saying it was, but the TLDR is that if anything happened to Reggie, Flop would have had to live with someone dying for the rest of his life. He put like a humble threat against Flop to be like, listen, if anything happens now, this is on you.
It was basically a bait for him to start searching and knowing something was going to happen, and also setting up so if something does happen to Reggie that that Flop has to think about that. But the point was Reggie was pissed off because he wasn't allowed to leave the helicopter, and he said that I trusted you guys, and we had a deal.
Wait,
you guys broke the deal.
this is when Ash was
so
found?
whatever happens next, just know this is on you.
Can I be honest?
Oh, I thought they were talking about when
We were all like,
Reggie was going to meet
we were all
Jasper
like, Reggie a bitch,
before he was
because we were like, this guy yelling about nothing right now.
Okay, pal. I've seen how much
He
Reggie
was-
gets of a permit.
He was really crying, but it was mostly because Hayes saw him talking on the radio, so she knows he was communicating with someone. She doesn't know what was said.
He was
but
on the radio that he told you the radio. He was on the radio with Chico.
You can't look. Cross hasn't told her how to be on 2 radios at once. She still doesn't know.
There's a secret to this.
Now that Kung Fu and Chico are there, what were your thoughts about Reggie hiding all the shit? In character thoughts, obviously.
What was the question? Sorry.
Chico felt like that they didn't trust us. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they didn't trust us with the shit. To be completely honest, it was like Chico wanted to help, but he couldn't do
Chico
anything
knew
because he was
more
left
than
so much in the
any of the
dark.
other boys.
What with you not saying anything?
Yeah.
I thought there was a reason behind it. Like, how should I put this?
I
Like
love Kung
KJ,
Fu's
he trusts
voice.
Reggie. Like Reggie is one of his trusted ones, and if Reggie doesn't say anything to KJ, KJ understands there's the reason behind why he's not giving that information. But it was frustrating the time when you called KJ down to the airport and looked for Ash, and you were so secretive, and then I didn't hear from you and shit like that. So it came to a point it was frustrating. But
Yeah.
I think it's
from
more you just
KJ's
didn't know
point
what
of
was
view,
going on.
like KJ have known Reggie for so long time, and it happens before as well, where Reggie have hold KJ in the dark with a lot of stuff for some reasons, and the reasons always comes, further on. So, like like Down Under understood why he was doing what he was doing, and KJ understood as well that he was holding back. He didn't know the reason, and that was getting to a frustrating point. And I think that's why as well KJ went, the flop side with stuff because he didn't get what he needed from Reggie's side of the side, if that makes sense.
I remember KJ called Flop and Flop practically ignored him.
Aw.
Yeah. So the
Why?
reason when you ignored KJ started to first of all, KJ is trying to figure out, where Flop stands with everything, and he hears from other people you can't trust Flop, and he doesn't trust Flop, but at the same time he's poaching the bear and see where the bear is basically where he will if Flop will like turn this tide per se. That's why he dropped, the shit with the smileys and dropped, the leader of the smileys ID card in front of Flop to see if somebody or something came back from that shit.
Which honestly, I'll tell you a quick story about that.
Yeah.
Flop internally got in a lot of trouble for that.
Oh.
Because I filed the subpoena for you, and then there was a big internal thing with the PD because I guess something came up and there was a miscommunication
Wait,
with
they
high
subpoenaed
command.
KJ?
And the whole thing was a miscommunication, but it actually caused a huge internal war over that ID.
No shot.
Yeah. Yeah. Flop got in a lot of trouble for that.
I want to know more about this, but like,
Typical Flop, always getting his shit. Why am I
That's
not
funny
surprised?
I
though,
wish
but
I
it
had
was
any idea what they
frustrating
were
in the
talking
beginning
about.
because I think like I don't know, I
It's
can
nice,
talk
but
for
not
Reckless,
not
but
existent.
but like for KJ and I think the rest of kind of like the seaside people, we are ex gangsters, we are used to deal with issues the way with guns out, rolling cars, find the people, use our resources. But when you're looking per se for somebody who wouldn't or one doesn't want to be found, it was a hard thing. So we started to go after what we could per se. So the Smiles got a hard one out of this one. Like we were like, fuck all the serial killers. If they want to fuck with us, we're gonna fuck with all of them.
Which was, by the way, I think one of the most interesting arcs I've seen on the server. Because usually gangsters don't fuck with serial killers. And
Yo.
watching the way that like gangs were actively like seeking serial killers, I was like, these guys have no idea what to do with these gangsters. These guys are fucked.
Yeah, they normally pick on people from the farmers market. Then all of a sudden, fucking Seaside rolls up with machine guns and pipe bombs.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I think it was only one time that it actually happened that they got shot at by Seaside, and that's when they was trying to act gangster at the shit. It was a little bit different. Like a lot of people that was role playing with it, like Benji and Benji, Cage, and all that, and they was all into like what Chico wanted to do.
Money, thank you
Like
very much
Chico
for
is
the
like
resub.
he has that torture factor to him that he enjoys, and everybody was just like following him and looking towards him for guidance. Some of them had some ideas, like KJ wanted to do a couple things, but he still let Chico take the forefront of it, and it was completely different. Like we didn't go at it with like a gang mentality. We went with it as
No, you had that in the like you always have that gang mentality per se, but Like we understand this is like a different world as well, and we want to give something back. Like we're all role players and we're all gangsters, and we are down to just drop your ass and rob your person basically. But we're down to give you give you something as well. Like you can role play. Always, like I think all in the
I feel like
season
I
is
need to
like
go
that.
back and
Like it's
watch
the
like
same with the
a
cops and
recap or
everything. You
something.
try to give something so you can get some more out of what you're doing per se. Like it evolves, it moves forward. More shit comes out of one incident.
We need a Chino like
Mike,
recap
did you
video for
expect
this.
to branch out so far when doing when starting up the arc?
Down, left, right, BA, start.
No, because well, like I said earlier, it was just supposed to be a copycat, and it wasn't until like I even kind of gravitated towards people that I knew in the beginning, like the same cops, trying to get Dan Faley involved in it again because it's who I knew. That was like the only cop investigating that I knew anymore. It wasn't until Reggie came back into the picture that it opened up the possibility, because I've always been about involving anyone who wants to be involved. If you want to be involved in the storyline, I'll find a way to fit you in, because that's what it's all about. Like, I don't want Jasper to be just a serial killer versus PD situation. I wanted it to be impactful across the board. Like, invite as many people in as you can, as long as you know OOC that they don't just want to be involved to be the one that shuts it down. Like, I want to be the hero, and yeah, I want to play my part so I can shoot you the first time we have a meeting. It's all about getting the right people involved that you can trust to let it slowly burn.
Because that's at the end of it is, and I understand and definitely get that fear, and that's something like I love slow burn RP, and I know some people hate slow burn RP, and it's frustrating to them because you look at it from the outside and you go, why the fuck would they let this happen? And it's fucking hard, because you also got to think about the point of and I mentioned this a little bit earlier, is this isn't just your storyline, this is everyone involved storyline, and then as soon as you end that storyline, that's it, it's over. And at the end of the day, we're role players that are creating a story, so you need to be able to further that story and give RP and include as many people as you want, but you also need to be sometimes a little bit more exclusive to ensure, like, to keep the integrity of everything happening and moving, which it can be frustrating to some people because they might not understand it, but it's just also the point of, well, hey, this isn't your time to shine and be involved in this, but your time can come, and it will come, but right now this is the slow part of it.
You need to let your character get vulnerable per se, to keep the story moving, and that can be hard sometimes per se, how your character is usually, or what you usually do.
100% playing Reggie like I did through when Reggie was taken was,
I don't even know what he did. I feel out of the loop,
incredibly hard for me.
Yeah, I think so for Ash as well when she got taken, like all the shit, because both you, Reggie, and Ash is like pretty smart characters, when it comes to in-game. They have so much knowledge, so much friends, so much stuff per se going if they want to.
Yeah. So that's always something, and it's also hard for the cops too, is they're balancing that I want to catch this person, and I also want to see where this story goes, but I also don't want more people to die. I'm sure you cops can talk more on that.
I don't know if we've met in character.
I mean, I think a lot of it for us was finding leads and trying to work with leads, and knowing that we want the story to continue, because you could see the time and effort put into it. There's a level of wanting to get an outcome and wanting to see how the outcome naturally happens. And for a lot of the story, watching how natural it happened was really something special.
Oh no, I don't mind.
Especially with your level of roleplay, Mike, it really was.
And I very
even
much
if we didn't
this,
find Jasper, watching that level of RP come through was enough for us to be satisfied. If that makes sense.
Which, I have to speak with Reggie about the Sammy.
I'm sure Zakel can also speak on it.
Like, honestly, I would pretend to be looking for Jasper, but I wasn't actually looking for Jasper because I didn't want to find him.
Yeah.
Aww.
Because it's just like the story needs to
people
continue. I
enjoyed
know
it.
there's more people
Aw.
involved in it, so
Well,
I'm just gonna be in the helicopter getting yelled at by everybody. Let's go.
Aw. Aw.
we had so many days, myself and Zakel, we had so many days, Flop and Hayes would just go drive
Oh, I just
around
realized this is off the
and
screen.
literally
I'm
talk to
sorry.
locals. We would just talk to locals and be like, did you see a man, white jacket, you know, weird mask, earrings maybe, right? Like just the most random shit you could think of just to have that moment. And it was really, it was just fun to watch it just happen. So,
have either like, has anyone seen the moment where Reggie left, Jasper and Chico took over? You guys actually seen it? Like
man.
the timing and the small amount of wording was just perfect because Reggie's walking
I need a
down with
recap.
Jasper as Chico's
When I was
walking up and
moving
Reggie's
and when
just like
Nash was in the
goodbye
ICU,
Jasper
I
and
don't know.
Chico's
I
like
have no
hello
idea.
Jasper.
And the boys weren't
Like
telling
that
us
right
about
there
it too
was just
much.
like, I'm not gonna lie to you. When
There's
that
been hints
happened, when
dropped
you
here and
said
there,
bye
but
Jasper
I
and I
know
said
she
hello,
wouldn't handle
like
it.
that shit sent chills because it was just like
that
was
ended
like
and a new thing
Reggie.
opened.
It was
It
very
was like
smooth.
it was like Reggie passing the torch to Chico, like here. You know what I mean? And it was just like it was
And then
intense.
as I'm getting up the stairs, the cops are all arriving,
Yo.
and it was your
I literally
timing
took
as
a
the cops.
photo.
Bro,
I took a photo of when you guys were just passing between each other.
Your timing of rocking up as I'm walking up the stairs was impeccable.
It was like
from my point of
watching
view,
it,
holy shit.
like watching it from there.
Always
Like
ask now.
'cause I
Wait,
had,
what
like,
were
a
we
little
asking?
clip, on
For a
both
recap?
sides
No, I don't want
of like when the cops came
I don't
and
want
when
to
I
derail
rolled
them
up.
from having the chat. You know what I mean?
It was crazy, like
I
the
do want to ask that
instantaneous
question
time
that someone asked before.
of as soon as he got to the
I
stairs,
can't
I'm
realize
already
in time to have walked
stabbing
through it.
Jasper. As he gets to the stairs, you guys are rolling up like it's like crazy.
In saying
Crazy
that, we could just
timing.
wake up one day and be
Yeah,
like,
we
hey,
were
I'm actually fine
watching
now.
for a little bit, and then we saw Chico walk up with a knife, and we're like, oh, okay, this is probably not going to be good. Let me try and get Air 1 out, so if they try to flee or
Last time I
something.
was so involved in
And
Serial Killer
then
RP on NoPixel was amazing.
Espinosa
I very
says,
much
Chico
enjoyed it. I would love to
stabbed
do it again.
the other guy, and it was just like, oh, yeah, we all got to get to the fucking pier now. That's great.
That was so
How
funny from
did you guys feel like at that moment watching Chico stab? Like did you guys hesitate? Like I don't know
So-
about that. Like you guys like
me and so Flop and Hayes were going to get I forget if it was Air 1 or something.
was
We were
Air
going
Fast
Air
Air
1.
I always get Air 1, okay?
Yeah, listen, but we were getting Air 1. And when I tell you we made the right out of that side street off of Great Ocean Highway onto Great Ocean Highway going south toward the city, we maybe were on that road for like 15 seconds and Espinosa goes, oh my god, Chico just stabbed this guy. And we were like, fuck. And so we immediately whipped a Yui and shot right back over and immediately like tried to accommodate for that whole thing. But like seeing it from Espinosa's POV was insane because we didn't get to actually witness it. But watching Espinosa's point of view was really cool.
Just as a thing. So when Reggie was leaving, Reggie told Chico that he's only got like a couple of minutes before he calls the police.
2 minutes. 2 minutes.
2 minutes. Reggie was actually going to call the police as soon as he hit the stairs.
No, I knew that, and I figured like I was just like, yo, like I'm gonna be honest, like I kind of had the idea that Grayson called because Grayson was like
Does
there
Ash
the
know
whole
mention him
time.
when he
But I
found
didn't
she was
know it was
kidnapped?
Grayson. Like I didn't know.
To a certain
like, 'cause
extent,
I didn't have
yes.
a really good.
But like even I don't know.
Like all I was seeing was just like shadows.
I know that he went
you know.
nuts. I know
Like,
there was
like,
something about
Chico pays
Blue
attention
with the bank
a lot,
account.
right?
And I know
And
that someone fell off a
fucking
building.
Reggie told him like the two places that he met was the Venetian and the Chumash Pier. And every time that Reggie wanted to have a meeting with Chico or the Seaside, he would always bring him to the pier. So when he talked about the judge shit, he brought him to the pier. When he talked about some other shit, was the pier. Like the Chumash was like literally Reggie's favorite spot to go.
So that was 100% authentic?
100% authentic.
That's crazy.
He did not say anything.
I didn't tell
but
anyone.
Chico knew.
I
Chico knew
literally
exactly where he
didn't
was
think.
gonna go.
I didn't think that Jasper was going to show up, to be honest, because he didn't show up last time. So there was a whole scene in 2.0
One of Benji's
where
best
after Jasper did what he did to Bree, Reggie put a $300,000 bounty out on his head, and he put it out on Twitter, right in front of the cops. Literally put a bounty on his head while Reggie was a lawyer, and then Jasper was tormenting Reggie, and Reggie went to Chumash Pier. Reggie actually went there unarmed that time as well. So it was like the second time of it happening, and both times had Jasper shown up and attacked Reggie, it would have been a coin flip perma. So that was always something. I do also need to mention this because it was mentioned in chat. I'm still sorry about doing the Wenmo Pepe hands. I didn't even think about
That's
that.
enough, dude. I'm done. I'm out. This is fun.
Did the Wenmo
Fuck everybody.
impact, like the ending of the arc? Like, did it speed it up? I don't quite know.
It didn't really speed it up. It just gave the police his actual name. That's really only it.
Did I ruin something?
What is the
cool
Venmo
area?
incident?
Well, so
Oh,
he
so-
brought the aim to
Or
fell
also
sleeping
doesn't
and
know?
saying when I
All
wake
right,
up
so
I should be here and I
this
told you
was with the whole airport thing. It was
Aw.
around at that same time, right?
Oh, that's
And which is why
heartbreaking.
Reggie wasn't talking too much to
Come on,
KJ,
thank
was
you
because
very
he
much
was
for that resub.
talking to Jasper. And Jasper said that you have to pay for an advanced viewing of the video, otherwise he'll just release it to everyone. And we're saying, oh, you've got to, I want $100 for it. And I didn't even think about it, right? And I personally don't like it when people send $1 to see who it is, because that's a very powerful thing through
Yeah.
Venmo. And then I fucking sent him $2.5 grand through that. Didn't think about anything. And then fucking Espinoodle's just like, oh, you sending money through Venmo? Can we get that bank transaction? I'm like, fuck.
Ooh.
Fuck. And it has his name on it. I'm like, oh, fuck me. I fucked
Fucking
up.
Wenmo.
I fucked up. But did that change anything? Like, did you have something cooler ready for releasing the name?
Cooler? No. Did it impact the storyline? 100%. I made a big post about it, crying about it in my Discord. Pretty much just explaining like just why this Ash was going to be the end, because I was already fighting with that idea. Like, okay, if Ash does get found, like the next victims aren't going to be as impactful. Like, should this be the end? I was toying with the idea. And then when that came up and it was like Jasper lost his one superpower, because the only power he's had this entire time was that no one knew who they were looking for. They didn't have a name. They didn't really have any idea what he looked like. He was always changing. I feel like I maxed out my closet with outfits and was just switching between them all the time. And then once I knew that they had the name, it was just like, all right, it's the Ash video was a good time to end it.
Oh, that makes
So
me
I
feel
stayed in the
bad.
area at the fire tower to intentionally get caught, and then didn't get caught.
Wait, what fire tower?
There's a fire tower in Polito.
It was
Just
just
north
across
of
the road.
the chicken
Oh, when
factory.
you're there, the Pluto one.
The one I hinted about 100 times, Reggie.
Okay,
The
fuck
fire tower. Fire, fire, fire. The city's on fire. I'm watching the city on fire crawl out of the fire.
Reggie is trying to be the smartest one in the room, but he barely are, you know.
Okay, get fucked.
Reggie
It's so
was just
hard.
focused on saving Ash, okay?
It's so hard though, because like you'll give so many of like hints of that will mean absolutely nothing, and then some other hints
Jocelyn, thank you
that
for the 12
mean
months
the
resub,
world, but
by
you're
the
not
way.
going to find out till afterwards, and you look back on it. And this is something that I mentioned about Jasper to pretty much everyone, is you like what he says means something, and then it's not going to be till you have this oh shit moment when you think about it and go, oh, this makes sense now. And that's like the best part about it, which is why I love how cryptic it was through the whole story. Was
I have
just,
a question for Hayes. Did you ever find out who tortured Hannah Baker? Like in character?
In character, Hayes knows that it is probably Kenneth Jasperson just because of the whole
Statute of
smiley Carter
limitations
world.
not over.
No, it's not over, but there's not a lot to go on other than, you know, the smiley face. And that's the issue a lot of times with serial killer cases is I need 7 different cases to point to one person so then I can start actually prosecuting them.
Well, I mean, I don't know if I should say it. You know, 'cause still saying that the statute of limitation is still there, but
So it was you.
Mhm.
It was Jasper.
it was Chico. And I don't know if you in the
Crack the case.
Logging in to
in the
arrest
Sandy
him now.
Shore, in the Sandy Shores, in the little meth lab up top of the store. I left 2 pieces of evidence there. It was the gun and the blade that, and I didn't have any fingerprints on it either. Like, I mean, I didn't have a glove on. I had those fingerprints on it. I'll be right back.
Gloves,
So
fingerprints.
I left it.
People
Like
just keep
I left
taking
it.
off their gloves.
Like I left it. I did it on purpose, and it's more of the like come get me, you know, kind of thing. It's like I want to extend the RP a little bit.
It's
come
so
get me.
interesting
So this
to
is a
hear
different
that,
Hannah
take
Baker torture. Okay. There's a
Yeah.
couple.
This one was because of Hannah Baker being close with Jasper, and you know, it's just like you are one
I
of the
wonder if they
reasons
regret
why
palmering her.
my sister, which is like Chico's sister, is Ash, it got caught because you allowed this shit to go down because you was a friend and you didn't tell people about it.
Back
And you
with
could have
food.
got him too. So it was just like a domino effect of shit of why it didn't happen. And so yeah, I fucking tortured her for a bit, and then when I seen that it was going nowhere, it was just done and over with.
I was so surprised that you didn't speak at the trial with Chico.
I'm gonna be honest. The reason why I didn't speak was because I didn't have any time to actually prepare. I didn't know exactly what to say. Like, and I didn't want to just fucking make fun of the situation. Like, oh yeah, I wish you died when I stabbed you. You know what I mean? It's just like I didn't really know what to say. And like, if I had more time to actually prepare, I would have had a different situation. But you like, I was told right on the spot, like, hey, you want to talk? Like, fuck.
All right. I want to say this.
So
I want to say this. real
Boston.
quick.
I told them all they could talk
But
if they
Jasper a
wanted
pussy
to.
for not biting back when Reggie was fucking doing his. What's going on, Mike? I fully expected you to bite back and taunt Reggie.
I did love the Reggie
kinda ran out of
standing
space, though.
directly in front of him and facing him.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was
And
like,
it was just
okay.
it was so much of a Reggie thing to do that I was expecting it fully. I'm gonna be honest. Like,
Well,
he wanted to look him in the eyes.
Okay.
He didn't want to look at the judge. He wanted
Yeah.
to look at Jasper and tell him, "Fuck you. This is what's gonna." You know, it's like, I don't know. It's just a Reggie thing to do.
The reason Reggie did that was because Reggie doesn't give 2 flying fucks about Holden's thoughts on it. Reggie wanted to have his final words to Jasper.
I think that's what made it so powerful, though, was that the idea of an impact statement is that you're trying to not sell it on the judge that like this is the right verdict, but to convince and to show through the impact. I mean, literally the impact statement, right? You're trying to show that there was an impact in what happened to the victims.
How this person impacted your life.
Yes.
Basically.
And the fact that Reggie went up and literally said, Holden, go fuck yourself, and just completely neglected Holden, I was like, holy crap, that was cool. I'm glad that Holden picked up on Ash walking around, though. I thought that was pretty cool.
That was like when Ash went up and she started doing her emotional shit. I was like, oh well, Jasper's
I feel bad about that.
verdict is sealed and set. There's no coming back from that. I was just like, that's it, it's a wrap. I was like, oh, Jasper's dead.
So why didn't Jasper say anything, Mike, to Reggie? Or were you wanting to, or you just didn't think you could?
At that point,
Best
I
impact
was.
statement, mine was so much longer.
I mean, we had the
Ash.
verdict, but it was still on the table. I 100% was not expecting the death penalty.
I didn't until today.
So
Was anyone expecting the death penalty? I
No.
wasn't.
I wasn't.
I don't think we were either. Truthfully, the only time I
Holden's all
realized,
over the place.
yeah, the only time I
It's
really
so crazy
expected
that
it was
no
when
one
he said that you're
expected it.
guilty for the cold cases too. I was like, whoa, because that's when I realized like Holden was not holding back.
Reggie,
that was
Simo,
nice.
Wonder if the
I have
streamer
a
cried
question
when
for
Ashki
you.
gave a statement. Doubtful.
With this case, as you being a judge, with this case, if this was like a different scenario, would your verdict have been the same? Like you're not involved in this.
I wouldn't no, I wouldn't sentence him to death. I think that Holden was also holding on to previous things with Jasper himself. I personally would have liked to have seen Holden give his full verdict there. If you're going to be sentencing someone to death, they should be hearing it themselves on the full reason why, not that they can read it on a docket when they're dead. That surprised me a little bit. I
That
kind of
surprised me
expected
too.
Holden to go into a full thing. Most judges will.
Yeah.
I know that we were short of time, which is something that played into it. But I personally, with what evidence was there, I wouldn't sentence the person to death. I wouldn't be able to say definitively that they had that they're going to die to it. Do I have some belief that they were involved in these things? Yeah, definitely. But is it enough for me to sentence someone to death? No. However, then you've also got to look at the fact of that this directly involved a judge. DOJ is going to look after their own. So if someone goes
Holden
after
was
someone
like
and then
Academy
that person
Award
turns out to
goes
end up
to
being a
Ash?
judge,
Huh?
God help you. But that is also
what's up,
something
Easy
that
Life?
that's going to come into play with it.
Yeah, Grayson was very surprising.
Okay.
But I would have let Jasper live and been a
And
shitlord in jail.
unfortunate that it was Grayson.
Which would have been fun. I think him not dying and him being in prison would have been cool for another arc, because there could have been so many things that could have came from that. He could have gotten an apprentice to do things. He could have done some cool things in jail.
I mean,
Like I was
just him
expecting,
being alive is always like he's out there. He could be out there.
because you see how Ash like reacted to the third time's a charm, and she was ready. She was broken again. She was like, "He's gonna come get me," and it would have been so much more
fucking
cooler to
bastard.
have him in prison, knowing that at any given time he could make phone calls to Ash again, or even potentially even be broken out.
Oh, 100% he would have been broken out. Are you kidding me? Motherfucker
Yeah, it
broke
would-
out 2 times already.
But that would have been so cool, and it was just like so much fucking. I've seen so much opportunities for so many things,
I'm so shocked he got the death
and
penalty.
it's just like now that he's dead, it's just like, well, that idea is scrapped. But it's
I have
so-
a
it's
follow-up
so-
question.
What's up?
If Jasper didn't get the death penalty, did you have a plan for prison?
Yes, multiple things. There was
still gonna
so many different ways that things could have played out. So many things and how it could have played out.
Wait, was that a Seaside question or a Mike question?
It could be both, honestly, because I know that
what
both
Seaside
sides
was
would have
supposed
had.
to do was hit the fucking transport, but none of these dipshits wake up or pay attention when we tell them that there's a court case.
Oh my gosh, I was so disappointed.
Same.
You,
Were you really? I was glad that they didn't hit the transport.
I think it would have been amazing to have the execution and then have it stolen from PD or DOC. And it's like, because like Jasper said in the courtroom, DOC don't deserve to kill Jasper. They fucking known him for a week.
I tried to get Reggie to be on the firing squad, but they wouldn't let me.
Aw.
Bullshit.
well, I tried for a second.
I would have used that MP5 and then I would have taken it and framed it in Reggie's room.
But
everyone thought that Reggie was going to gun him down with his MP5. Like,
Yeah, you
Holden
were too
pulls
pussy to
Reggie
do it, you
aside. Holden pulls Reggie aside and he's just like, just remember that you're a judge. Remember what you've got to do now. And
Aw.
it's like, well,
That's
why do
quite
you all
sweet
think
that
I'm
they
just
were
going to gun
looking
him
out
down
for
right
Reggie,
now?
though,
Like,
don't you think?
why?
I mean,
Would've done
because
it
he did
plenty
it
of
for
other
you.
times.
Jasper,
By the way, your terrorist tendencies, okay? You're a judge now.
Yes, prepared to.
Fingal
I don't know
deserved
about
it.
that.
Being able to clap
Okay,
Fingal in court was great.
that was so funny. You're like, hey, can I try? And he's like, yeah. And then you shot him in the head.
For his head, just one tap him.
That is so fucking funny.
Anyway, back on to Jasper.
Yeah, sorry.
So, Mike, did you have plans for Jasper if you... got life in prison?
Toyed with the idea. I think it would have fizzled out eventually because the arc was over. Like when he got caught, to me, the arc it should have stopped. Like that's why I made the deal with Jasper and Reggie to not have Ash be contacted by Jasper directly anymore, because it was like, okay, I mean, it's like I didn't want it to keep being drawn out.
Oh, okay, Mr. TikTok.
Okay, well that was different. You can't prove that
shitlord.
was me. That was an unknown number, Reggie. Didn't even sound
I
like me.
didn't
Voice
know that
ID
that
didn't
was
work.
you. I had no idea. It was so
Pussy.
scary.
I told you how I knew it was you. Mm-hmm. Your fucking dingle pop fucking. It was literally your dingle pop voice, just less frothing at the mouth.
Jesus.
Can we give everyone dingle pop's voice so everyone knows it now?
Wait, which one was Dingle Pop?
It's a
I thought
foaming
Dingle
at the
Pop
mouth
was the one where I was
clown.
like,
Yeah, that
and
was
then,
dingle pop.
Yeah, but the phone call was like, Dick, Duck.
Oh god.
But
It
you
was
also
so scary.
you also had that point to it when you started talking more like Dingle Pop. When we were, because I was standing at the construction and you started talking more like Dingle Pop, not just foaming at the mouth. And that's what tweaked it to me, was because the way that I put an image in my head for that voice, because that's what I'll tend to do, is put an image in my head for the voices. And what I put in there was Stephen King's It Clown, right?
Huh?
Oh,
100%.
100%.
It had some similarities to it. And then when it played with the recording that Ash got of it, I'm just like, that's the same image just popping straight to my mind. So I got you there, bitch.
Not as good as I thought. I did the entire time. I thought Jasper getting live would have been nice, because I feel like prison could use more lifers that were built up on the outside, that have not really connections but have a story on the outside, has people constantly coming in that want him dead, has a reason to build up an arsenal and defend himself. And there could have been so much more chaos, because everyone in prison now is just, I mean, they're like, oh, I killed 197 people, and it's like,
yeah, I've heard
shit.
some of the stories. Like, how are you not dead?
But I think you can get more meat on the bone as well on the lifers, because it's always good to get to prison and roleplay with them. But like you said, everybody's like self-insert towards the lifer with a backstory, and actually get somebody who's in there for life with an actual story from
the character's actions and
like
feelings.
with a whole nother dimension to the roleplay up there.
Oh yeah, Ash, you can say your goodbye that you're gonna say now, Jasper.
I was just gonna say goodbye.
All you wanted to do was say goodbye, then fucking you come up and you say that and rattled the fuck out of her.
I was really surprised. I was like, oh, they can't hear me from here. And I was like, can I say some last words? And they started walking me over there, and I was like, they're gonna hate me for this.
Dude, when you started walking over, I literally was next to Espino's. I was like, here comes the last laugh. And then when he dropped the ball, I was like, there the fuck is. Saw that shit coming from a mile away.
Chico was trying to console Ash because she was like going crazy, that I turned my camera to look at her, that I didn't even see him get fucking shot. I was so mad. I was like, fuck, I missed it.
But I think when you go back to when
That's
you
funny.
ask me, Reggie, what's the hardest part of being the outsiders per se, and looking into it, is actually both from Reggie and Ash when they came back from what happened to them. I've been thinking about that question. From I think that the hardest part is not when you get kidnapped or away. Like, I know that we were not we are not mains in this story. We are just bypass. We are joining in and out per se of the story. But the hardest part, I think, from my point of view, is when you guys came back, when you guys was hurt, and
Picking
you're
up the
basically
pieces.
you're picking up the pieces, but you're standing there with basically you're just standing there watching at somebody who's broken as fuck, and you don't know what the fuck to do.
Poor
I think that's a
KJ.
hard.
I think he
What?
was like, I think KJ was like one of the only ones who I did some PTSD stuff with poor KJ.
Yeah, in the house with us. Yeah, yeah.
PTSD.
Yeah, I didn't get to see practically any of the Reggie stuff until he was pretty much out of the wheelchair.
God, that
No,
wheelchair arc was fun.
I was
Then
not
every
too
now
much
and then,
into it, but it was the hardest one. No, it's the hardest thing for me as well. But like personally, in roleplay, is like role playing the hurt or towards like people who experience some
Didn't
trauma
Jesper kind of
stuff.
console Ash after the brainwashing thing? Kind
You're
of.
always down
He
to
was
kill
like,
people, you know,
I
and
want to be the one
look
to
how
hurt
badass you
you.
can look in the
Tell me who's hurting
position
you
of
so I
how
can hurt
hurt
them.
you can be, you
Because
know,
that's
and
my job.
feelings,
I
for
want to
example.
do it.
Yeah, that was so hard to do. You know what would have been badass? I'm going to say this because someone said it from chat. If Ash, instead of saying goodbye, Ash just went up to Alvin and said mousetrap and then walked away.
That was.
That would have
yeah.
been badass as fuck.
That's what I was gonna say it when we went there, like at the end.
Yeah.
Got derailed fast.
What would your reaction have been, Mike, if Ash just said mousetrap before you got shot?
Jasper would just laugh.
I think it would have been fitting.
It would kind of make it seem like she played it up because it was her impact statement and her questioning during the trial that felt the most impactful towards the verdict. And it's like, this motherfucker lied the whole time. She's fine. She's fine, Reggie.
I think
Jasper
her
was the real
PTSD
victim.
Imagine. That would have been a fucking twist and a half. That she's
Jasper
like,
felt the real pain.
He's dead. You know, like, yeah, it's okay. Jasper's done.
I'm gonna
and
miss
Ash
having
is just
Jasper.
fine.
Me too. Now I can't
Like,
stream
even-
anymore.
Like even though
Partner, you're
like,
done.
like even though my part in the whole thing was like so fucking small, like it's very minuscule versus like most of yours. It still was so fun to be a part of. Like honestly.
My ass, dude. You fucking you ended a 2-year investigation.
Like,
I
it was
mean,
fucking-
I think you played a bigger part than you realize.
What?
What?
Reggie's the one that brought him there. What do you mean he ended it?
No,
Well,
he's the one that did it because he actually had the knife and he used it.
Jesus.
Chico
Yeah,
saved the day.
it was unfortunate. Like, listen, I say this like I said this in character and I say this out of character. It's unfortunate that the cops were there right at the time that they
Cannabis
were.
called Nana.
Because I had like a whole like little scenario I wanted to go with it, and it was just like, right? Oh, fucking Joshua was like, "Don't let the cop sirens stop you." Like, in the back of my mind, I'm like, "Oh, I'm not. I don't give a fuck." Like I wanted to continue. Like it was just, it was all right. The way that it ended was not ideal, but it was pretty dope.
Mike,
at
one
the
day
same
will
time.
I mean,
Ashes
here's
kidnap
the
Kate and then
perfect
said to us,
ending.
Jasper was busy
Jasper
editing
meets
videos
Reggie
and
on the
Ash was
pier,
watching
stabs him.
everybody.
Reggie rolls and permas. Then Chico comes running in, stabs Jasper, and Jasper permas. And then Chico gets shot down by the police, and Chico permas. Holy shit!
That would have been if that. If,
Then I don't
if,
need to deal
listen,
with Chico and
if
Reggie on a
that-
daily basis,
if
and I would be
that
like celebrating
happened-
with cake afterwards.
Can't you just go back to the Vagos?
I'll be honest. If that actually happened with Reggie permitted and Chico fucking Jasper permit, I probably would have permitted too, 100%. Just to finish that all off right there. That would have been dope.
My perfect ending to that.
Meanwhile, Ash
been,
was dying in
um,
ICU, and these boys were running
It's
around
something
fucking
along the lines of
doing nothing.
and which sucks because of the whole judge arc, right? Is and if I wasn't a judge, I would have set it up like this, is alluding to the PD where Reggie was going to meet Jasper, Reggie stabbing Jasper, and then PD being there to witness it and gunning Reggie
Have we
down
talked
and
about
both
the cake?
permit out of that.
Not really.
That would have been fucking.
The cake is
Yeah,
only
not the
something.
ideal.
Reggie.
I can't
If
remember.
you
I saw a
perma
clip
to
of it
Jasper,
from someone's stream. Might
like,
have been on Flop's stream.
How are
Where
they gonna
he
beat
can
Jasper
go on a
said,
rampage
"I
and
ate a
fucking
cake in
sacrifice
front of
every
her."
fucking
I
serial
don't
killer in
remember
the city.
who.
Nobody will be
And
safe
I
as
saw
fuck.
that and I
And
thought,
like,
okay,
if a
He's
serial
about
killer,
serial killer, you're dead.
no, like seriously, like the bond that KJ and Reggie has,
Melly,
it's
thank
so
you for the
strong.
email
So
to
if you
resub.
perma to another serial killer, the other serial, like, you should make a serial killer character on No Pixel afterwards, man. You will be like, new one, okay, you're dead. I'm gonna find you no matter what.
I think it's like, because a lot of you guys don't know, but the reason Reggie is how he is was actually like how Reggie went after serial killers, made it his life mission to go after serial killers. Whenever he finds one, regardless on who they're fucking with, he is going to go out of his way and murder them. And the reason he did that was care of Jasper, because of what he did to Bree and how much that rocked his world. Before that, he didn't have an issue with serial killers. He didn't have an issue with what
Plastic and balls
Jasper
when you
was doing or
flatline too,
anything
it
like
was
that until that
like
moment where
everyone
he
could hit the
attacked
pause
Bree.
button at the same time.
And
When
then
did
I
he
from
don't
then on,
even
attack
remember
Bree?
who was there when
Was
that
that
happened.
when
I
you
don't
went
think
into
Reggie was
that
there.
fucking
Does
arc
Reggie
when
know
you was
about
up in
that?
Sandy? When I had the talks with you and stuff up there? Or was that something else?
when did I go to Sandy?
Here's
That was
cake,
when you
thanks,
were
guys.
like doing that.
Benny, thanks for the cheer.
You had the killer mask.
KJ
arc
and Reggie, I
shit.
believe.
No, that was well
Panda
before. That was in
cheered
2.0 that he
X1000.
attacked Bree and hurt
Oh,
Bree.
2.0.
So this
Okay.
was actually Jasper, not Alvin. And it was when Reggie just became a lawyer. And that was why it was Reggie's first court case. And
Oh.
another fun fact was, I've only told a few people, was if Reggie couldn't get Bree off the death penalty for her court case, Reggie was going to out himself for helping Jasper escape and helping Jasper with the stuff that he did in 2.0. So he was going to waive all of his rights and request to be put the sentence to death alongside Bree.
Oh, wow.
But that, like, there was so much high stakes to do with anything to do with Jasper that I needed to
when you held
keep
your
high
hand?
stakes again with
I
this.
can't remember.
And it was yeah, it would have been crazy if Jasper actually did attack Reggie there on the Chumash. Jasper too much of a pussy.
Jasper already attacked him and put him on a video. It was just like, I think because Jasper said that he was falling more in love with the mental torture instead of the physical torture. So it's like leaving Reggie alive to see Ash suffering is a better end game for him.
Oh no, that was much better. That was great to see the torture that you did through that. It was a complete
Don't think you know
different
that
spin
much
on
people
what
that you flatlined? Well, I don't know if
Jasper
Ash
had
would
done
know.
before.
Because the doctors
And it
didn't
took a
tell
while
her.
for it to click onto what you were
And
actually doing
The boys
with Jasper
haven't told her.
and the whole list thing.
So Ash wouldn't
But
know.
I'm gonna head out. But yeah, appreciate you guys. And fucking was a fun arc.
It was a good time.
Hell yeah.
Bye.
Look forward to the next one.
Hey, I'm looking forward to.
British kid flatlined in ICU. Well, that's a good question.
God.
No,
I
I
think I
say
never
it.
talked to you,
Say it.
Jasper. I think I never talked to you or heard your voice or anything. I don't think so.
I don't believe we did. No.
No. I was
Oh,
like
I
a
would have
shadow.
loved a KJ Jasper talk. That would have been funny. KJ would have been Peepo talking, and Jasper would have been Peepo talking, and honestly, it would have been
Oh, it would
a
have
good
been
convo.
a 2 hour conversation, 100%.
2 hour conversation.
Is one of my favorite things.
Benny, thank you
that
so
ever
much for
happened.
the sub.
Oh man, I love to have like slow burn shit. It's funny. It's good. But yeah, I see you guys. Thank you so much for like being the small part I had in this. It's always funny, and I hope we get
Hell
more in the
yeah.
future. Both with cops, serial killers, gangsters, whatever. Role play.
Seaside
Hell yeah,
cops.
dude.
Hell yeah.
Hashtag Seaside PD.
Yup. I know.
Okay.
Okay. I see you guys.
I got another one. Was there intentions to make the
He's asking too many questions.
similarities,
I can't get them
not
off.
the similarity, what's the words that I'm trying to
This is
fucking
the
think
best
of?
couple eyes of love. Shut the fuck up, Chris.
Did you intend to
You know
make
that-
Reggie
you know
believe
the
that he was
best cop
seeing
is
that Jasper was
Mickey,
seeing Ash as
obviously.
Abigail? Was that just Reggie's delusions pushing it into play?
Oh, I'm kind of curious about this too, actually.
Up, down, left, right, BA.
I don't remember which came first, honestly. because I played on it after the fact. It was brought up once, and I kind of took a lot of those ideas. I'm gonna let everyone in on a secret. I'm not some crazy mastermind. A lot of these ideas come from other ideas, like Tom and Jerry, for example. But I feel like Reggie mentioned it to Jasper before that he was seeing Ash as his sister, and then Jasper just took that and like ran with that idea.
I think it was Reggie that said it first. The reason he was doing it was to see how the person he's talking to on the phone bit back about the sister, to see what was left of it. And there was a lot of things that Reggie did just to push Jasper's buttons to see what happened, where they'd go and see how he'd bite with it. But a lot of the times it actually flew back in his face, much to what Reggie would have thought. Because Reggie's a person that likes to control the talks and the conversations, and that would rarely happen in conversation with Jasper, because Jasper was always the one that would end up controlling it.
Well, with Jasper, like anytime Ash brought up Abigail, you'd hang up the call. So I thought it was more so you starting the direction of that.
Oh yeah, did you ever see Benji's diss on Jasper?
That's a good question.
Yes. Out of character, right? Was that spread through the city? Okay.
No. Thoughts?
Yeah. I mean, it came out quick. It was hilarious, honestly.
His chat do be quick with those things.
I need to hire someone else to make the next arc.
It was also, I'll say it was also hard playing, and I dare say it's going to be the same for Ash, playing as vulnerable and as sad through those arcs when being around people that don't do those things that often. So the rest of Seaside,
that was very hard.
dealing with that, and it was also sometimes it was like we were getting messages OOC saying that we're ruining other people's RP because we're being fucking sad and stuff, and it's like, bro, that was a little bit frustrating in its own with the arc. Was we know that we're going to encompass people that aren't used to
so much. It was so
dealing
sad
with these things, but
it was like,
it's something that happens in real life, so you kind of got to run with it.
my favorite streamer's RP. Yeah, that really bummed me out, to be honest. It was it became exhausting juggling. Okay, I can be this level of sad around this person, and around this person I just completely just drop it. You know, it was very difficult.
What actually leads to one of my favorite Ash character things, though, is the fact that like she's so good at hiding her emotions around people, and then when she has those little twitches, like her PTSD twitches for things, they're so interesting because it makes people like it throws them entirely.
Yeah. Well, it kind of had to happen. I didn't want it to.
Yeah, well, just like when Clark accidentally handcuffed Ash the other day, and Ash just sprinted across the parking lot as far away from him as possible.
Poor Clark. I don't think he knew what was going on.
I don't think he did either, but like seeing them all stand around confused, it's like, it's really good character shit.
Just see when Dundee did your restroom, so sorry. Mike. Now you say yes.
Yes.
Somebody asked how different it was playing Jasper, from 2.0 to 3.0.
Trial and error. In 2.0, I had been around long enough to know most people, I guess, and most cops, and what was and wasn't possible. But coming in back to 3.0 and not having any knowledge of what police were capable of, that Winmo was a thing, that subpoenas were now a thing. Like used to, they had to get your phone, or you had to screenshot the images to give to the police. So it was interesting to see how much more powerful PD was, and plan around that. And like that's why it took so long to give PD Jasper's number this time around, was because I wasn't sure if they were just going to take that and run from it and immediately do subpoenas and immediately get like his bank information. And it was all about finding out what was and wasn't possible. And then when it comes to people that were included,
I guess you gotta be careful
this
who you include,
time,
don't you?
I would say I was a lot more careless because I wanted him to get caught. There wasn't a planned ending. There wasn't a planned like storyline ending. I had said numerous times, this isn't Jasper's storyline. It's whatever people involved want to turn it into. So I wanted Jasper to get caught just randomly out of the blue, like most serial killers do. It's just something stupid that ends up coming forward and being the downfall. So I played him a lot more carelessly and a lot less powerful, I
Whole bunny thing
guess.
too. That was cool, huh?
Debatable.
So is Hayes gonna miss Jasper now?
Gonna miss the cat memes because they were great.
Maybe he can send them from the dead.
The cat memes?
Maybe.
Oh man.
Literally cat memes.
Yeah, we had some good text conversations.
I do have a question. Speaking of cat memes, what was the correlation to Tom and Jerry?
That was all flop.
But it all made so much sense.
Everything does when you dig into it. That's what's beautiful about seeing where people go with it, is the whole I wish I could just spill everything that I had no intentions on. Let's go back to Reggie's video first. The whole Christmas Carol and the 12 Days of Christmas. The reason Jasper skipped number 4 is because everything else he said added up to 12 for the 12 Days of Christmas. 4 was not skipped for any other reason besides everything else was 12. And then it was, holy shit, 12 means death in Japanese. And then I had this idea that Ash was going to be the fourth video after Reggie, and she ended up being the 4th victim total of Jasper's arc instead because things fell through. So the whole Tom and Jerry thing, like seeing that brought up, and it was like, what? And then I started digging into it, and I was like, okay, let's see if I can piece anything and throw any more information to just throw them on more of a wild goose chase. And then the whole ending to Ash's video with the train, it's like, okay, that was the last episode of Tom and Jerry, is when they do or don't get hit by the train. And it's like, oh, there's a train. And
Wait, I didn't even pick up on that.
Yeah, the ending to Tom and Jerry was really sinister and like fucked up. But I was like, I got so lost. I feel like, honestly, Mike, I feel like the most entertaining thing for you was probably watching from the sideline, watching all of us try and put these random fucking pieces together, the things that made no sense. The one thing that got me was when Reggie called Flop and was like, Flop, I don't think this is actually anything.
Mr. Bones, thank you very much for the
I remember, speaking of
resub.
The
Reggie's
1125.
video.
The state
Speaking
ID.
of Reggie's video, it was what caught me was like when he was like rise from the ash, you just gotta catch up or something like that. It was just like, oh, Ash catch up as his next victim, and it's like, it really wasn't. I think it was Tate after. It was just like things like that. It was just like intriguing as fuck.
You know, one thing I did see, I feel kind of like out of the loop because I don't like catch up with a lot of stuff, I guess, but one thing I did see was cool with Jasper and Flop, and Jasper had said to Flop, ashes to ashes. This is just before he had taken Ash. And then at the end of the Ash video, it says we all fall down, and I was like, oh my god, I wonder if Flop will pick up on this.
So
and Flop's
I
too
didn't
busy
actually.
looking for Tom and
I'm
Jerry.
gonna be honest. With the amount of phone calls that Jasper and Flop had, which was probably less than some other people, but I want to say Jasper and Flop had some like pretty significant phone calls. A lot of the phone calls went on for about 45 minutes.
4 is better than 3.
And completely jokes aside about me and my attention span, I legitimately have about a 15-minute attention span before I like completely just zone out.
Mr.
And it's not like I do it on purpose. It just happens like within the PD meeting and stuff. toward the end of those phone calls, when those things are said, I typically forget them until I actually write them down and go back and rewrite everything that was in the recording and getting it on paper. And if I don't do that, I'm gonna forget like 90% of the
Goldfish
conversation. Yeah, quite literally. I own it. I know I'm bad about it, but at least like I'm willing to admit it.
You gotta get a Reggie to poke at you until you answer.
I mean, true. Speaking of which, randomly, but what was the catch again to the state ID thing, Simo, with Flop and his state ID?
I can't fucking remember for the life of
It was
me.
something about 1125.
That took a while,
And
didn't
you were
it?
like, I think Jasper's
saw
hinting
that.
at you again. And I was like, holy shit, Reggie's right. But I feel like that was probably another one of those dumb things.
Oh, see, low key, that was me trying to force you to get involved in this shit.
You fuck.
Because I wanted you to also get involved as well on Flop and
Please, I need
making it so you could possibly be somewhat of a fucking target to it. It always adds that extra element to it of wanting to get more involved.
Okay.
That's what it was like. I'm much the same as Mike. I want to get as many people involved that want to be involved in it, and they're not going to like derail the storyline.
Welcome back.
So, getting more
help.
people involved in it like that is always something that plays into my mind, and something that just fit perfectly with that was being able to manipulate those numbers into Flop's state ID and Flop's call sign.
Well, then I have a
both got
follow-up
leaders
question, but the
similarities,
follow-up
principles,
actually goes to Mike then.
Yeah, it was pretty sad.
Because talking about like
wasn't it?
involving
It
Flop.
was pretty sad.
Flop got a
Julia, thank you for the
really
gift.
fucking random
Cyclops,
phone
thank
call
you for
from
the 5
Choi.
gift subs.
And I really
Thank
want
you
to
so
know, what
much.
was Choi's involvement in like this
Yeah, did
arc?
Choi have any involvement, or did she just rock back up for no reason?
Choi and Jasper have been BFFs since before he threw her in the trunk and
Thank you so
drove it
much.
into the ocean.
And April, thank you
So
for the resub
she
too.
popped up a little bit in the
That's
beginning.
romantic.
It was that entire video was done to throw police off of her.
So
and
it was.
like,
I was right.
yeah. And the funniest part of that is Jasper would go visit her in ICU after she had conversations with Dan, and then anything Dan was telling Dr. Choi, Dr. Choi would relay to Jasper and saved his ass probably a handful of times when Andy was trying to
Thank
set
you
him
so
up.
much, boys. Donate
So
more, please. More gift subs,
she came
please.
back for this arc a little bit. She didn't really have any big involvement besides like just being Jasper's friend again, and then she stopped coming around. So
Please gift subs.
Did you have plans to have her involved in it?
yeah, if she would have kept coming around, I mean, absolutely. It would have been nice to have her at the trial. She could have. Oh shit, she could have said some good words for Jasper.
She could have.
She really would have. So then the question is, when Choi called Flop about the smileys, was that honest just like good timing, or was there something involved between Alvin and Choi at the time that she called Flop about that?
Alvin and Choi were already involved, yeah. Choi, I don't know if you know this. Dr. Choi gave you a star. Gave Flop a star.
See, that was my follow-up question. Someone asked in chat earlier who was the other star, and it was so like on the fence because I didn't know. Because at first it was because Flop was the wild card with confusion, because it was kind of presumed that Choi gave Flop his star, and then Jasper was like, "I'm gonna give you another star," and Flop said, "Okay."
Thank you so much,
And then when he
guys.
went to go talk to Hayes about it, Hayes was like, "Timeout. That goes against everything that Jasper's ever built upon." And we had to go back to the drawing board and how stars were done for a little bit until we tried to put the pieces together. And then we eventually just came to the point where I think Jasper is just trying to do the, as we called it in the investigation, you know, showing something in one hand while the other hand does something else, like trying to like
Hold on,
focus
hold on.
on
Did you call
something.
in the investigation? Is that not what Reggie told you?
Well, that's what I'm saying. That
Wow.
He's the one that's claiming it right now. I'm sorry, I am not involved in this. Do not.
Right.
Nope.
Right.
Nope. Also, you didn't make the saying. It's a common thing.
You didn't create the saying, but
no, but I linked it to Jasper.
Reggie did link it. I won't lie. I mean, I can't speak for everyone, but I know Flop was inclined to listen to Jasper or not to Reggie in that.
So the reason Jasper gave Flop a star was because during the conversation on seeing if Dr. Choi wanted to be involved again, she had mentioned like you were the only person she didn't want Jasper to go after. And Jasper and Choi's relationship is that's probably Jasper's only true friend, because Dr. Choi held a position of high power. So she's a doctor and knows everything that he's done, but doesn't try to change him or stop him, or she just accepts it and accepts him for him. Whereas everyone else is like, oh, I can change him. I'll be his friend, but it's because I want to make him better. So Dr. Choi is probably Jasper's only real friend in his eyes. So when she gave Flop a star and was like, if you go after him, like, I'll do everything I can to kill you. And Jasper wanted to save Flop for last. And when Reggie told Jasper, I didn't give Flop a star, then he's like, well, fuck, Flop's got two. You can't go after the double stars. I have no idea.
Do you guys want to know why Reggie took Flop's star?
Sub.
Why?
Thank you. Welcome.
Oh, he's dead. Spill the beans.
The reason was because Flop had pissed Reggie off at that time. And Reggie wanted fucking Flop to be, wanted Jasper to go after Flop. In an attempt to
Surprise Pikachu face, really.
In an attempt
what pissed off Reggie?
Well, this was around the time that fucking Flop was like, I'm too busy, and Reggie's like, you know what? Fuck your star, cunt. And it was more to do with, if I put Flop in danger, then that means Ash is less out of danger.
See, like when you put it in that context, though, it makes sense because Reggie, the joke always came up. If it was between Reggie or Flop, who would you go for? And Reggie, without question, would be like Ash. So it was no surprise that you were gonna pick Ash's side no matter what. And I think, granted, because there was more of a mutual respect with PD opposed to a friendship with PD, and there was a friendship with Ash, that it was very clear that Reggie was going to do whatever he could to protect Ash. And that was always the start. The start to the investigation was, if I'm ever in a position where he's going to take me, I'd rather you put a bullet in me to avoid having to go through torture of Jasper. And it was very clear that Reggie didn't give a flying fuck about anyone but himself and Ash. And put Ash before himself, really. So.
Oh.
I just wanted to see Flop get fucked up.
I think it would have been kind of fun. I'm not gonna lie.
To see how it changed Flop. No, I honestly wanted to see how it changed Flop as a character.
Wait, would that have made him a gangster? Can we go back?
Can I be honest?
What do you think would have happened if Flop did get attacked? Like, how would that change Flop?
Ooh, okay. So
I'm curious about this now too.
That was an OOC reason as well, because I wanted to see how that would change Flop.
Well, I'm going to answer honestly on this, and there's a couple different ways that this could have gone. So a little quick backstory to understand where I'm going with this. In 2.0, Flop was manipulated and lied to from Thomas Dwayne to be part of the Illuminati, and was part of this group of horrible people where Flop literally set up one of his dads to get like kidnapped by this guy and fucking tortured. But Flop didn't know it. I didn't even know out of character for a while who could have kidnapped this guy. And Thomas like manipulated Flop and sent Flop into this depressing frenzy of like panic. Quite literally where Ash is right now was Flop for all of 2.0.
Thank you so much for the 50 gifted subs. Hell yeah. Thank you so much. Guys,
I was going to take it two ways. I was really going to leave it up to a dice roll.
Give them a little
one,
thank you.
Flop was going to go right back to his like feared state from 2.0 where he wouldn't know how to handle himself. And to the point where he'd either take an LOA or even step away from PD. based on his discomfort
Thank you
of
so much,
trying to uphold
Anonymous.
himself, or Flop being the matured, now out of the womb of where he was in 2.0 of
Super.
being
Thank you very
tortured and
much for
being
the
lied
15
to
months
and
resets
manipulated
here.
to, that he would have been
Thank you so
matured
much.
enough to move past that. And I think, depending on how I would have played that dice roll, I think that could have gone one of two ways. Either Flop was going to accept that he worked his way through so much beforehand that he could relate to, that he would know better on how to handle the situation, or that he would send himself right back into where he was in 2.0. And I think if it were to send him right back where he was in 2.0, I was ready to take Flop into probably a quitting PD and going back to his own thing, which I think would have been interesting because I was ready. There were a few times where I was ready to quit PD, but I legitimately had intent on letting Flop quit PD, and just seeing where his story would have taken him. Which
You know,
honestly,
Reggie wouldn't let Flop quit PD, which is what he did last time as well.
I mean,
Like
do you
when
remember
Flop was
when
already
Flop?
talking about it.
Yeah, do you remember when Flop called Reggie and was like, "So Reggie, I think I'm gonna quit PD."
Reggie fucking not happy with that. Reggie actually,
Yeah.
odd enough, it's funny that Reggie likes to keep people that he like people in PD. Like the same thing as what happened with Cleo is Reggie tried to keep her in PD. Yeah, oddly enough, he did try. Like originally, he wanted to fuck with her, but he tried to keep her on the good path, and then she just fucking went sideways anyway. I'm gonna add Braun into this.
Who's
Oh,
Braun?
He's got to
sweet.
judge himself.
Oh,
Where
hell
the
yeah.
fuck is my DMs
Absolutely.
with you, Braun?
I would love
Who's
to hear
Braun? Is that the lawyer?
Holden. It's Holden.
Holden.
Who's Holden?
It's the judge.
Accept my request,
Oh,
Braun.
Judge Holden?
Yeah, Judge Holden.
Accept my friend request, motherfucker.
He also plays
Murphy Braun.
Murphy Brown. There you go.
That's the smart lawyer?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
No, it's actually the drunken lawyer. Get it right.
Grizz?
Just, what? No.
No, not Grizz. No.
Which one is drunk?
I think it's is it? Would I be wrong saying it's TG lawyer?
CG lawyer, yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean
yeah,
that's fair.
I just need Braun to hurry up and accept my request on Discord so I can add him.
Mm.
Please.
Fontana, thank you for the 16 months resub.
The call out.
Wait, can I ask a question real
I
quick
will
then?
say, the judge
ahead.
that we had was very sweet with
Hayes,
Ash. I
who
didn't
the
expect
fuck
that.
could Jasper have gone after?
Didn't you fucking get a name?
Like,
I'm pretty sure
I always...
Smiley's gave you Anita, which would have actually.
Okay, so I figured Anita, that's who I was gonna roll with, but I always joked about on stream that to me Hayes is a serial killer herself because she that's why her and Jasper's conversations were so good because neither of them give a shit, and it's like I don't know if there's anyone that I can actually make a video
What was
of.
that noise? Oh, there's Mercy Brew.
So Anita would have been one of them, and it's one of the things that she was actually afraid of when Ash was found. And it was just like, oh, now Nita's probably gonna be on the chopping block, and the little fucking family that I'm starting to make here is just gonna hate me. So then I'm just gonna go and be my little
Become a
serial killer self.
Yeah, yeah. I'm waiting for Hayes to turn into a serial killer, I'll be honest.
She's halfway there.
All right, give us the judge juice.
I'm curious about this.
I mean, you gotta give me like some kind of question.
What was your
Why did you sentence him death? Why did you not sentence him life in prison?
There you go. This is a start.
Unfinished business.
So it had something to do.
I was
with
supposed to be the judge
original-
in the original case, but he got
So-
killed.
So Simo was right. Simo was right in saying that it was
I
was
thought that
like-
it had something to do with the fact of the original Jasper Saxon, and the case had to do with that, and that was something that was going to play into effect with it. I thought that he would have gotten life in prison originally from how the court case went, but then you also have that wild card of the fact of how much of a menace Jasper was originally.
Well, he demonstrated that he wasn't delusional and that he was very his impact statement had a lot of malice aforethought and sort of premeditated just one last shot of fear into his victims. You know, this is all he wanted to do with He didn't look upon mercy or anything like that. He went right back to doing what he's been doing. You know what I mean?
Did you think that Reggie was actually gonna fucking shoot him in the courtroom?
No, I mean I was nervous that you had a gun.
Everyone was
We're
nervous
all
that
nervous
Reggie
that he
had
had a
a
gun.
fucking gun.
If I wasn't gonna get OIC banned for that, possibly I could have.
I wasn't nervous about it with Ash
I
at all.
just can't be corrupt.
Well, I hope everyone enjoyed that.
You're
Honestly-
such a wild card of a judge, man. Like, I did not expect for you to unseal the court case. That threw us all sideways.
What was annoying was we found out like 20 minutes before. I remember I woke up
I'm glad you like
on the
just check-
server and was like making my way.
down,
And I was
down.
like all nervous and I'm like working myself
Okay,
up because
fast.
I haven't done any court cases before. So this was like my first like big going into court. And as soon as I stepped foot on like the sidewalk, Odessa came up to Flop and was like, yeah, by the way, just to let you know, Holden doesn't want to seal the court case.
Oh yeah, thank you very much.
And I
for
was
telling
like,
us to
you've
reset.
got to be
Welcome
fucking kidding me.
Oh, Reggie spat
What
chips.
was the reason for you unsealing it?
Because it's a death penalty case. The public has a right to know how justice is administered.
That's actually pretty cool.
It's not about the safety of the defendant or the rights of the defendant. It's about the rights of the public. Sealing a court case has to have an extremely relevant reason.
See, I told you should have gone down the path of talking about Ash and the victims and all that stuff, but you did. Fuck Jasper's safety. You're gonna murder him anyway.
He almost
Yeah, that was
did
kind
on
of
The
the way to
funny.
original
court.
reason we didn't want to bring up the fact that Ash was possibly not safe anymore is because the fucking guy standing right there. He can relay that
Holy
information
shit.
back.
Anonymous.
He's a
Thank you for the
blabbermouth.
50 gifts. What is this? The
Wait,
same
who's
But
one
it's like-
or is this a different one?
Jasper's a blabbermouth.
Thank
He's
you
gonna
so
go back to his
much.
little buddies
What?
that have the phone, and he's gonna
That's
be like,
not true.
"Hey
Thank you so
guys,
much.
they know that you have, you've been taunting,
Oh, yeah,
you've been
thank
taunting
you.
us.
Please
They
help me.
know."
Please help me thank them.
Because we didn't know
Thank you so
100%.
much.
We had a feeling that it was Jasper, but there wasn't enough phone calls to warrant that it was Jasper.
Acting like Jasper's got friends.
Thank you so much.
No, he
Oh,
has
they had a
one.
little list. He had a little list in
Like
DLC
Jasper
of the
actually
people
had
that.
friends?
There.
He has someone in DSC who I don't even think unintentionally like helped him and almost caused a huge fucking mishap with witness
Oh, I
tampering.
remember that one. That
Oh,
Yeah, what happened with
Oh.
that? Did anything happen with that?
we never saw him again.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Oh,
I never
feel
saw him again after
terrible.
that either.
Oh no.
He just disappeared into the night.
Fuck, Reggie went ham on that guy. Holy demon.
Oh, I feel terrible.
Well, I remember Reggie told Flop and was like, make sure you tell Hayes. And then Flop was like, yeah, so Reggie told me this. And like, as I'm saying this, like, I was very casual about it. Like, Flop didn't know how to react. I didn't know how to react for Flop. And then when like Flop casually told Hayes, Hayes went haywire and was like, nah, this guy is getting everything. He's going to fuck with my case. I'm going to fuck with him.
Out of curiosity, Mike, was it you that kept calling with the unknown numbers? Was that you? With Jasper?
Yes.
Shocker. Shocker.
Oh,
Yeah, the
that was a
heavy
lot of
breathing, just
that was terrifying.
So, Braun,
Uh-huh.
do you regret getting Grizz to be his lawyer?
Yes and no. I mean, I don't want to throw Grizz under the bus or anything, but he was sort of tone deaf to like the history of this case and all that a little bit, especially when Ash was on the stand. So I kind of thought he was not necessarily the right lawyer for a case like that, but I thought that it would go a little more smoothly if Jasper had at least someone there to like tell him how to defend himself. But
I was kind
it
of
turned into
Go on.
it turned into like, you know, just like objections and stuff.
I was
Turned
kind of
into Grizz.
So many objections.
I was expecting that
That was a lot
Jasper
of
still would
objections.
gain control over his side, and they would be there
What
to
was
say,
Jasper gonna say if Ashley
like,
accepted the call from
for
prison?
times
Honestly,
where
he
to help him
probably
and that
doesn't
kind of
even
shit.
know. He
That's
probably
what I was
Yes,
expected
expecting a
that's
little bit more.
us not to answer.
that was the idea. You know, I just wanted to give him the option of, you know, the best possible legal defense under the circumstances, because I guess he had trouble finding a lawyer.
We were
What-
talking
I
about
have-
earlier. Well, go ahead.
I have a question. Did you actually threaten the lawyers? Because I had the serial killer lawyer call me saying, "This man is the devil. I'm not representing him. Fuck this guy. I'm gonna throw one of my baby attorneys." And then she's like, "No, never mind. I'm not even doing that." And
What?
I didn't know about
threaten
that.
anybody.
What?
You had Patrick up in arms.
Everyone just told me they were conflicted. And I was like, how was the serial killer lawyer conflicted? I was so confused. It's like, if you're representing serial killers, don't make any friends. Like, they're all going to fucking die.
Do you want to know how? I can answer that real quick.
I would love to know how.
Because ain't nobody going to go and defend the person that attacked Reggie like that. Hello? They're afraid of Reggie. They know
point.
Reggie would go and fucking murder them afterwards.
I was thinking more about Ash and how half the city was just out to kill Jasper and all the serial killers.
Yeah, nobody wanted to be on Jasper's side after that.
Yeah, that was also definitely a
Yeah,
hard nail in the
What-
coffin.
What was funny was Mabel was it Mabel? If it would have been funny if Mabel could have been, you know, the lawyer, but it's like the way to do that shit would have been like crazy.
How would Jasper
Two
and Ash meet up
computers
after
and
getting out
oh
of the
man, that would have
Something
been
that had to be
funny as
discussed.
shit.
OSCC wouldn't be caught. Do you mean for
Mabel's
the radio and
ridiculous. I love
stuff? Like when we radioed with
Mabel
Reggie?
is something.
Did you watch the videos this time, Ron?
No, I watched the videos like originally.
So you watched
I
you
was
listened to
originally the
tapes?
judge in this case, so you know it's been a while, but I already like watched all the original stuff already for the case that he never got caught, he got killed. So the case never happened, but I was already familiar with all this.
So you didn't even get to see the videos that happened this time?
I went over that stuff a little bit, but I mostly just like made sure that I was up to speed with all the evidence that Mike fed the cops. In addition to like what's usually there, I just had to make sure like all the additional
face
stuff that
palming
was
from the
role
Great
played
Wall?
out was like
I would love to see
acknowledged
the
just as
smileys
much.
like
And it all kind of
grow
connected and
and
made
be
sense.
like
I wanted to see your
scary
thoughts on
thing, you
the
know?
development
That'd
of
be cool.
Jasper's story compared to like the
Because
cassettes
I've heard
before
stories
to
about the smileys from
videos
like
now.
the previous reset.
I think,
And everyone's always
to
so
be honest,
scared of them, you know. And people have told
Mike,
Ash
you-
to like watch
as
out for
much
them,
as
and
it's
you have to have
easier
a
to
smiley
do the
doll, or
recordings from
they
what you
kill
said
you, or
before,
blah 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 blah.
I think you've
and,
really
you know,
stepped up
Ash
the
and
fear factor
even
of
me
Jasper
being the very
in
gullible
3.0
you know,
than what it
people
was in
that
2.0.
we are, I guess.
Because he
Feeds into
went
that and
after
believes that, you know.
bigger targets this time.
It wasn't I mean, OOC and in character, it was Jasper was always stating it's not a numbers game. It's a
like for the radio
impact
and for, like,
game.
logging
Like
back
who
in
can
to
you
be found and
attack to
stuff,
make
that was,
some sort of impact?
like we spawned
And
in
once I started getting like other role players
like, near
involved to
where
be
we
the
needed to
victims,
be,
it was
sort of thing.
so much better.
Still feel bad for Levi.
He's all right, man. I was just playing him the other night.
Hell yeah.
Pothead Levi.
Why didn't he get called as a witness? He's still alive.
I wonder why.
We should put Tate on the stand while we're at it.
Like, why are we calling him? And I'm like, because we can't. We just he's off roaming the lands, being his pothead self. We can't call him.
It's so tricky to do, like when your own characters are the victims and how much information you're willing to give. Because in 2.0, I killed off. Well, I didn't kill off. I attacked my superhero and then killed off one of my older characters, and it's like killing off my characters has always been a thing for my serial killer arcs, I guess. But and then court case too, like what Murphy said, trying to make sure that the actual things that were role played out are just as impactful, because it's so easy to look at the videos and be like, oh, no face, no case. Look, he's wearing gloves. How the fuck did he leave fingerprints if he's wearing gloves? And
Well,
just pick
that's
apart
why I
every
shut down
technical.
Grizz when he started harping on the voice ID stuff, like it was like a bench trial. I'm like, listen, this is not that case, Grizz. You know, like there's a lot more than just the voice ID to this.
I just wish he would speak quieter so whenever he talks it doesn't nail on chalkboard for me.
It's so
you got no idea. The
fascinating,
first time
though.
I got introduced to Grizz was when Reggie was on his fucking criminal arc, and this motherfucker's up
And this
there
makes me a bit
talking
sad.
about someone getting
I
shot and
don't think
referring it to
anyone,
his
like
many
any sort of
orifices.
like a serious
He
arc
got
like
shot,
this,
so
I
he has
feel like
many
people wouldn't
orifices, and
want
then
Ash
this
to be
orifice,
involved.
and then this one, and then Reggie was just
You know,
molding so hard. It's
because
like,
then,
why does he
well,
keep
then
saying
the whole city's
orifices?
off,
And
blah,
it-
blah, 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 you know. So I feel like I hope that
But yeah,
it
like
hasn't
I'm
cut off
kind of flattered that
potential
like these are the
stuff in the
kind of
future.
cases that I get asked to do.
Because I'm very much
I don't know.
like for me,
I
like
just
I'm a yes
I
and.
hope
You
that
know what
I'm
I mean?
able to maintain a certain
like, I'll
room
roll with
tone
anything.
for like heavy stuff like this.
But I
You
just
want
I
to be
hope that
honest,
people
Rid?
don't get
You had
discouraged.
I don't think
PJ
it's
It
tiptoeing.
worries me. I think about it a lot, to be
tiptoeing.
honest.
Well, what do you mean?
Well, I can elaborate on tiptoeing. We went so after the pretrial hearing, Flop, Hayes, Odessa, and Andrea.
Yes,
Oh my
and
god,
thank you very
who
much
was the
for
other?
Alexandra, come on,
Alexandra. I'm
man.
sorry.
Max,
Listen,
thank you very much
I'm
for the
tired.
gift
Okay. We all like went back to the drawing board and we were like, okay, Holden is a loose cannon and we need to prepare for war. And we had our evidence so
I wanna
like
ask a
backed
question
up
to
with
the judge.
everything, just in case, because we didn't know how to react to Holden. We didn't know what we were dealing with after the pretrial hearing, because we figured that like this could have gone either way. And so our plan of attack was just plan for the absolute worst and expect the best. And we didn't know what we were expecting going into it, so we really tiptoed around how we felt Holden was going to preside over the information.
Well, good. I'm glad that was the effect.
Yeah, no, it was good, and I think the fact
thank
that,
you very much
granted,
for the
we make our
resub too,
jokes
and
with
E, thanks
Grizz,
for gifting them
but I
to
think
them.
knowing that Grizz was there to do some kind of representation, it didn't feel as, I don't want to say one-sided because
Yes,
that's
and my
unfair, but
maiden
I
of
think it
being
was nice knowing
smiley.
that
Oh,
when
really?
it came
Good, 'cause
time
you
to
had roll
questioning,
people once.
we
Something
had something to go off of.
Oh,
Right, because
Jesus.
before it was like we were going into it with all this evidence and information,
Which means you become a
and you know,
valuable
granted,
piece of
I'm
the
not the
book.
best in court, but
Yeah, but people
knowing
don't
that
always
there
want to deal with
was
that. You know what I
a
mean?
level
I can't blame them
of
for
challenge there to be faced against was nice to see, and I'm glad that
Was
Grizz
thanks
was
for
willing
the
to step
resub
up to the plate, because I really did feel bad for how difficult it was for Mike to actually have somebody represent his character.
What would have been the saving grace in the impact statement to stop the death penalty?
Contrition, or the opposite of what occurred. It wasn't just about, okay, so the only mitigation I heard was that it was from Psych and from Grayson, right? Which is that he's delusional. But in Jasper's own impact statement, I saw through, in character, out of character, I saw through everything he was saying. He was saying, he was like doing a Scarface bit and like saying just random stuff, but at the end, all he really wanted to do was make his victims who were present scared before he died.
So you're
And
saying
that was
there
the
was a
only
chance he
thing.
could have saved himself today?
There was a chance he could have said anything or offered up anything about himself that's redeemable or anything, but instead of that, he does the opposite. He actually says something intentionally with malice aforethought to make Ash more afraid, to make them think it's not over. And that was kind of like, you know, that was sort of the last straw. You know, I don't think
Well, I guess that answers the question
I don't think
wanted
there
to
was
ask
much that he could have said that would have countered like the impact of Ash's statement or anything like that. I mean, like I mentioned, like I loved it that she walked around all the cops and around the other table instead of going right up to the podium. She didn't want to be anywhere near him, and just everyone's sort of visceral response to him, and the fear and all that stuff. Like, you know,
Good night, Benny. Thanks for the
he
cheers,
said nothing to
DJ.
counter that.
There you go, Mike. You threw it.
Hey,
Jasper threw
that
it.
was
Could have
like I
saved
said. It was
yourself.
all planned out.
Could have happened. We could have had Jasper breakout, Jasper 3.0.
Look,
It was
once you
close.
set the precedence that all I have to do is make a new character and be like, "Woo, he came back from hell." It doesn't even matter that he died, and he'll be back next week.
Well, go fuck yourself.
Well, all the more reason to kill you. The next ones will know that they're gonna die.
Just gonna come back, and then we get to kill him again, and then he's gonna come back, and it's a daily occurrence now.
It's fucking Groundhog Week.
No, he's gonna come back and be Chico's best friend, and they're gonna be killing people together, and then
Oh,
that's
yeah.
it.
I
Yep,
think one of the biggest.
Casper Jackson for Seaside.
I think
First
one
thing
of
he'll
the,
try to do is try to inherit Jasper's car.
Oh, please don't start on those things. Jesus.
Oh God. I would like Jasper's car, please. Jesus.
Wait, did
Well,
Jasper ever own a push bike?
I think he did. He had a BMX, right?
What, Alvin?
A
Did
BM.
Alvin-
I don't think I had any vehicles. I think he did have a bike.
Yeah. On that push bike arc. All right.
Now
I
we
like those
know.
bicycles.
Run
Yeah,
plates
this,
on every bicycle.
The economy
That's
is
funny.
fucked. Serial killers can't afford vehicles.
No, they do.
Just run dirter, man. It's ridiculous.
That's where most of the smileys work. But do you guys know Rick Ridiculous? He put the postman character who rides around as a bicycle all day, just delivers
Yeah.
mail to people.
Yeah.
So
I've seen him.
Right, he's so great. But right after Reggie got kidnapped, he gives joke letters to people.
Oh,
He rolled up
Jesus.
to Scud and left me a letter, and it's anonymous, and it just says, like, we're watching you from a distance. I'm gonna close in on you. I'm gonna get you. And I was like, I knew, like, I knew that it wasn't from Jasper, but I was like, oh, poor postman. This was the worst possible fucking time to be handing out like joke serial killer letters. So he got like run down and people were interrogating him and like fucking screaming at him and stuff. And it was like,
I
it's
remember that,
completely
actually.
innocent and unrelated. But he accidentally became so creepy because he rode by Uwu on a bicycle. And then I rode by the courthouse and he drove by me there on a bicycle. And then I was in the farmer's market and he rode by on the bicycle again. I was
You
like,
guys, I
who
really
the
want
fuck
to
is
try
this guy? Is
Omni-Rice.
that Jasper? Because at that point
I've
we had
never
no
had it
idea who the hell he was. Just screaming, it's like, it's the fucking postman. It's the fucking postman. It's gotta be.
Oh,
I mean, it checks out. Alvin was a postman.
I need that. That brings me to a point. The fuck you, Mike, and putting fucking Alvin's name in there. Like one of the very first ones that comes into play where we've got another name through all the fucking research. I spent like 60 hours on that court case for Bree of prepping it, so I knew that inside and out, everything to do with it. And then I see Alvin, and I'm like, why does that fucking ring a bell to me? And this always happens to me. Like it happened again today with Bree McNabb. Her name coming up. I'm like, why does that ring a bell to me? And then I go back into my notes where I keep all what people's names mean to me, and oh, there it is. There it is. Alvin Cohort delivered a fucking package. Fuck this cunt.
Yeah, that was like the main thing that made me find him guilty on everything.
That was the craziest from prosecution. I don't think anyone expected the way that you were going to rule on that. But when you mentioned that also pleading or having him guilty for the cold cases, we were all like, I mean, shocked Pikachu faces is an understatement.
Unlocked.
We were like, that's bad for him. It was a cool way to rule.
I've never seen it for sale ever.
Well,
actually.
I mean, it was all the mitigation again was around
Mind you,
him
I don't
being
go out
a
very often.
delusional copycat, but there's no way to look upon the fact that in August of 2020, a man named Alvin Kohal delivered a bloody package related to this, and then 2 years later is doing the same stuff. That's not a copycat. That is someone who is very clearly an accomplice of some kind. it, at the very least, the name being the same is not a coincidence, especially with the other connections. Like,
It's pretty crazy.
so
I'm super
I
excited to
felt
read his full
comfortable
verdict.
charging him at least at the accomplice level with the original killings based on that.
Which is something that, if Mike, you remember, Reggie questioned about with
Sugoi side is cool.
with once he found out it was
Yeah.
Alvin was, is this something that you'd been doing before, or is it no, not Reggie? I messaged you about that question. It was whether or not Alvin was also involved originally or not, because that threw me sideways when I found that link. I was just like, wait, what? Did I miss this whole thing back in 2.0?
Up, up, down, down, left, right, BA start.
Max,
That was wild. It was
resub.
like
Welcome back.
that little direct link on that.
I hate that that's the character I got stuck with too. Like, so many people made jokes about the whole Alvin name, and I'm like, look, he was a shitlord character in the beginning, and now he's the only one that has connections to like the 2.0 Jasper stuff. So it made perfect sense for him to be the one that was quote unquote possessed or copycat or whatever. Which is also why I went through on my image page and deleted his ID, was because in 2.0 Alvin was a ped model. So he used like the Ped Bug Stars outfit and the Ped post-op outfits, and I deleted that ID so it wouldn't be there. And when you click it in the old Jasper files, nothing pops up because it doesn't exist anymore. And when Bass was like, "Oh yeah, that postman's the guy standing right in front of me," and it's like, you fucking liar, because the guy standing right in front of you is Jasper's model from 2.0.
Sorry.
Bass was so funny. He was so confident in going up, and I can't speak for everyone else, but I was like, this guy's about to.
Oh, I
bomb
was fucking
this.
scared.
I was so terrified because he was like, "Hey, I remember that 2 years ago," and I'm like,
Thank
"Oh
you
god."
Bro,
Do you?
how does
I
he
know.
remember that? Mike, you were there through Bree's court case, right?
Mm-hmm.
Through that whole thing from Brian and Bass both, I don't recall. I don't know. So disinterested. Did not give a fuck about it. And I'm sitting there ready to fucking flip my chair, and I'm just like, okay. And then he comes up here on this court case 2 years later, and he's like, yeah, I remember it perfectly. Why didn't you remember it when I had the court case, you moron?
That's funny.
Oh, fucking
Yep.
swinging.
Did you guys see any of the 2.0 stuff, or are you guys like?
Well, back then he was a
throw it?
sergeant, so he was probably more nervous. Now he's the chief of police or
Exactly.
the sheriff, so it's not as nerve-wracking for him. He's done 100 court cases now.
Yeah, and plus he's only killed one person
Brand
since
new
he's been a
things
cop.
only. Yeah, I think most of us in here probably
Only
from
one?
3.0.
Only, I mean,
That's small.
he
I
killed
don't
the
know
EMS with the
any
brake.
2.0 stuff.
Oh, no
Oh,
one
the
knows that.
EMS.
No
The
one knows
EMS.
that.
No one knows that a
Permanent
character,
is so
but
2019.
I love Bass though.
Fuck, I've got a court case coming up in an hour and 15 minutes. I regret this.
I'm gonna
Did you get
miss
out
the
of it?
voice.
I pawned it off on Bill Stout.
Yeah, because it's solo now. I was gonna say you where you don't have to be there.
Do Mike, for you, do
I'm
you have
exhausted.
any intention on bringing the voice back with a different character?
I don't think I can. It would.
I know what you can do. Get into fucking PD, please. I beg.
Okay, but I'm gonna try to not go out and bitch about this. I have had an application in PD for 3 years. I have submitted it 15 fucking times, and have been told another dozen times, "Hey, your interview's coming." It's not. I'm pretty sure I'm blacklisted.
All right, say less.
Well, I'm an FBI now, so there's that.
Oh, there
Hey.
you go.
How you doing? Recommendation here.
I was literally about to tell Hodded that if you don't hire him, I'm going to permit every character he has.
Jesus. Watch your clips from 2.0 stuff.
Just,
Did you?
just,
I don't even.
just take all his
I
shit
don't know
away
if
from
I've
JJ.
ever seen a clip.
Yeah, I'll not only will I perma JJ, I'll fucking personally rate him, and then fucking sell off all of his assets to the state.
No,
I'll
but
just
I'm
do.
gonna-
I'm fine on Hayes every single day, and it'll drive him absolutely wild, and I'll be upset.
Yeah, I'm
I'll
gonna
hate it.
the Jasper voice is just like so iconic, you know. Like
It,
putting
really
another
only
character
works.
would be.
Yeah, it only works for a serial killer. Like you can't, I don't know, work at Uwu and be like, "Welcome to Uwu, fuck face. How may I help you?"
Oh, you definitely could though.
Oh, you definitely
You
could.
definitely be
do.
surprised.
You're kidding yourself.
You met Fenry?
I love Fenry.
Fucking terrorist.
I don't know.
Ed,
It fits that
Han.
not giving a shit, being dead inside, having a reason to be dead inside, and it would just feel. Plus, I'm gonna
Listen,
need it in a few weeks when I bring them back. So
all you need is a
Shut the
goth
fuck
character.
up.
All you need is a goth character. Listen, guys, you think he's playing, but he's literally bringing him back, and Chico's gonna be his best friend. They're gonna be fucking killing people together.
Oh,
You're gonna
jeez.
see
It's gonna be
Chico and fucking Jasper.
Sada.
You're gonna see
Guzman.
Chico and Jasper on fucking videos and cassettes together. All
Oh,
right.
Jesus.
Perfect. My judge term ends in another 4 months. If you guys can hold off till then, and then I'll be on my terrorist arc, and I'll
Well,
murder
you said
both.
4 months.
oh sweet,
Another
Say
That's
less.
terrorist
way
arc?
too long. They said a week.
That's way too long. We're doing this shit in a week, motherfucker.
All right. Well, I'll just do something slightly corrupt so I don't get banned and just
Well,
get fucking removed
what-
from DOJ.
What we
Like-
could do is like just be really powerful and make sure we don't leave any clues whatsoever the entire time.
Yeah, just
so
use
in
I got
4
you, I got you.
months,
No,
they're
no,
like,
don't-
whoa.
Don't worry, Mike. You're gonna be doing all the killing, and Chico's gonna have some killing, but he's gonna be making sure he's wiping everything down as we leave. Don't worry, I got you, bro.
In the back of the video,
Bring
it's-
just bring all the bleach. And Chico with the bleach.
Blue gloves.
Jeez.
we'll mention it in every
onesie.
video too, so it makes sense. Like, why is there no
Yeah.
evidence like, in the video? Chico, you got the bleach. Oh, great.
Yeah,
Jesus.
Get used
don't
to
worry,
it,
Jasper. I got it.
because then we won't be able to tell.
Well, fuck
Nope.
if I guess everyone else is doing it.
Yeah, right. Well, hold
All
on.
right, terror stash then.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so
Listen,
now you become a
When because that's like we all waiting for it for like this just something to snap, and it's just like never. Like we thought it would probably be
Can you
this
imagine
like this
us the
little arc.
terrorists? It's not gonna work.
No, but I mean crazier things has happened. You know,
Yeah, like I
Jasper
became
coming
a
back from
judge.
dead. Jasper coming back from the dead and being possessed, possessing alcohol.
That's the craziest thing. Not
Jasper,
me,
the
ex
friendly
murder.
ghost.
Not me, ex
Well,
murderer
I
slash
mean-
terrorist being a judge.
Pretty
No,
common in
it's
the
coming
server.
back from the
Coming
hell
back from
because
the dead, yeah.
literally
Coming back
had
from
serial
hell.
killers
It
try
would
to
be a
do that and they
wild
failed.
change.
So he succeeded.
That would be a
I'm
wild
honestly,
change.
I'm really surprised that no one intervened and shut it down. Like as soon as I released that video, I was waiting because it was made clear when 3.0 started, like you weren't allowed to bring back people that, and I got so much shit for that. Like, oh, this motherfucker Permud, he should just stay dead. And it's like, you've been watching the same guy for 6 years. Like, why are you getting mad at me?
I think the difference, to be honest, is how much RP you brought to everyone with it and included everyone into it. I think that's going to always be
And,
something
wait.
that comes into play with whenever an admin will
Ash,
look
the
at that
cri-
stuff.
the
'Cause
crim
that weighs heavy.
adjacent
If
mob
someone's
boss is
actually
perfect.
RPing
Yeah, I like the
and not for a
position Ash is
powerful
in.
reason, just for a reason to further a storyline that encompasses a lot of people, then that's different.
He brought back Jasper for roleplay reasons. He didn't bring back Jasper to be a fucking grinder or anything like that. For the fuck's sake, this dude had 5K in his bank account until he stole money off of Ash that he kept on his person.
Oh,
he didn't even put it.
Wait,
He didn't even put it away.
Fuck you. You want to say that he's not a grinder? This motherfucker was grinding fucking videos of murders.
Okay, that was roleplay related. It wasn't for personal
You
gain.
fucking grinder murderer.
It was for personal gain. It was
Well,
strictly to fuck over Ash.
It was, but it was. Listen, I've watched those videos a few times.
poor
because
Ash,
the
she's had it kinda
fucking-
rough.
I'm just like crazy.
Wow, you weirdo.
I had to watch
I
them
don't
over
even-
and
I
over
don't even
again just
watch
to get all the
them.
words.
You gotta
All
understand,
right.
Chico is not right in the head sometimes, all right?
I just make them and I'm done. I don't want to look at it. I don't want to think. You guys are sick.
It's,
What do you mean?
listen,
I've analyzed
it's
them all.
it's like a fucking it's like art. You know what I mean? And it's just like we need to appreciate it. You know, it's like you put time and effort into it, and it's shown.
It's different when
like,
it's your own
throughout
work.
the
Like I
whole-
don't watch
like,
any of my YouTube
regardless
videos.
of it
I don't
being, like,
watch
3
any of
minutes,
my
4
streams.
minutes, 5-minute video.
I hate the
like,
sound
you
of my
put
voice.
so much
It's
time and
different when
effort
it's your
into
own
it, and
work.
it was just like amazing, you know. So I don't know. It's just
I
one of
do
those
feel like
things.
it was it was definitely because the cassettes, I mean, the cassettes were good in their time, and I didn't want to just bring back the cassettes again and bring Jasper back completely. Like, it would feel more like I was just bringing the old Jasper back. So when I decided to, I mean, having the videos and doing the copycat and having it being based on Jasper, it's like, okay, well, he's a copycat, but at least he's doing something new and unique. Like, no one's done snuff films to this level, as far as I know. Like, there's been snuff film killers, but
What is a snuff film?
Jesus, I was spending
Not to
30
the
to
level.
40 hours a week, like putting one of these together, and I was trying to do one every week, and then it was every month, and then it was every 2 months, and it was like, okay, let's just get this storyline, and I'm done.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, most of the time I would just
Those
see
are nice
people getting
now.
stabbed, and it would be like a 1 to 2 minute video.
Do you guys think there's any serial killer that can top what Jasper's doing if Mike doesn't bring back another serial killer?
I could kind of answer that.
I think
Okay.
I
not to
have
that
got one
extent.
in mind that's trying to top themselves.
I think personally, I don't know if there's anyone that will ever top the intuitiveness that Jasper brought to as many people as he did. And like I've always said that you bring a level of story to so many people
What do you guys think?
that it's almost I can't say impossible because that would be a lie, but would be very hard to come close to how many people your character impacted at a single time.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say it's impossible, but I will say that I don't anticipate anyone ever coming close to the amount of people that Jasper as a character hit on so many different marks.
So for me, it's more about the story, like how Jasper delivered the evidence is just completely different from how some other serial killers are doing it.
True.
So it's like
I'm not
comparing
sure.
apples to oranges. So I don't think someone's
see if
gonna
Pez can
quote
go up the
unquote
highway
top
again,
Jasper, but there will be
because the
stories that
pile
are
up.
as in depth
Interesting.
and complex as Jasper.
It's a shame to
Yeah,
know
I've
that we'll
always,
never really see any of that.
I
after
love,
that.
God, this is why I've always wanted to be a cop so bad. I love seeing other serial killers and what they come up with, because to me, it's not really, I mean, it's not a competition. I love working with all serial killers. That's literally Jasper's only friends half the time. But like seeing people that are good at coming up with cryptic stuff or puzzles, because Jasper never really had any puzzles. Like, I just had videos and sound work, and some people go more in depth with the scenes. Like the game master stuff is just
Fucking Owl's going
it gets
insane.
And
crazy.
this with
I have not seen
with Jasper, he
anything
involves
about
so many people.
owls or game masters. I don't know anything
So
about that.
I feel like
The
that
game
would
master's
be hard
crazy.
to.
Yeah, the amount of work that Owl is putting into the Game Master is absolutely insane. Like, they're learning coding for the Game Master and everything to make games and stuff. And they do a shit ton of puzzle work and using willies to create little props for the roleplay itself. So you're actually finding little items on scene that could correlate to figuring out who they're interacting with and stuff like that.
Rest in peace, Willie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
now
he's sleeping on
Willow.
the ground.
Wait, so how does that work now? Are serial killers getting a bench?
Oh fuck.
Serial killers
That was
getting a
good.
bench. Oh my god.
Look, serial killers need a bench, and serial killers need a queue. All right.
If we
There's
had a
nothing
serial
worse.
killer queue, God fucking help us.
Jesus.
There would be so
Yeah.
many.
Man, fuck Willie,
There would
fuck
be
Willie
so many
abuse, man.
serial killers, and I don't know.
Makes me sad.
Actually,
There's
The
times
yeah.
where-
department, we would just quit.
Yeah, at
I
that
mean, to
point
be
we
fair,
just quit.
every character has a serial killer arc, so there's like a lot of serial killers.
There's a lot
Oh,
of
yeah.
them.
There's
And
Judge
just
Olin
like,
was a serial killer.
God,
Wait, really?
Reggie was like an accomplice to it,
Yeah.
kind of helping fucking Jasper in 2.0.
No, Reggie was a serial killer killer. He was a serial killer in his own sense, going against what he
You know what I
fucking...
feel bad about? This
He
is
was a
kind of off
vigilante.
topic, but it's Lucas's birthday today, and we've been so wrapped up in this whole case thing. I feel terrible about
as long as
it.
there's
He's
like a
told us in
line,
character
not all at
he's
the same
never
time.
celebrated his birthday. It sucks
There's
that we
nothing
couldn't be there
worse
for them
than
today.
trying, like, having a set date and it's like, okay, I'm gonna have the copycat release videos every Friday, and then calling up Hayes and it's like, oh, you're still busy. Okay, phone's busy. Oh, phone's busy. Okay, she's really busy today. Fuck. And then going back later and being like, oh, it's because there were 15 other serial killers on Friday.
Yeah, there was like 2 serial killers running around on Friday for Tate's scene, and it was just like, bruh.
That was a shit show.
I mean, I've always wanted to make a serial killer myself. It's just
We are next week.
What is the group thing will be the impact on the server?
Shut up.
I'm sure that's
Shut
the same
up.
one. I would expect.
like before, but no, before
kinda
us,
uncomfy
having this
asking them
idea of
questions
doing that.
about
I've
my
always wanted to
character. Is
have
that
one, but
weird?
it's just like, I don't know, man. I like I'm good in certain senses, but like making other shit is just like, so hard.
Serial killers are a different breed on the server, and it's a completely different type of role play because a lot of it is you're creating the paper trail, but you never see the result. And a lot, I say you never see the result, but the only time serial killers really see the result of what they've done is at the end when they're caught. And it's a different approach to RP, and it's really difficult. And the people that actually are able to accomplish that level of I'm trying to think of the word or the right way to say this, I should say. But in order to provide that level of RP that is also interactive for you is difficult. And I'm sure Mike, you could probably talk more about it because I've never had a serial killer character, but I'd imagine from at least the cop side and really seeing it now and really like putting the pieces together, it is not an easy process for you guys to really have your side hold for you. It's more or less you're feeding stuff to PD and feeding stuff to the victims
It's
rather
actually
than
quite selfless, and with what you're saying,
Yeah.
it's like it's selfless, and sometimes it can be quite thankless because
Yeah.
I know that a lot of serial killers have to hide what they're doing, and they don't stream it that often because of the fear of meta, and it's not from the PD, it's from the chats and going and doing things, and or you get someone else that wants to be the hero, and then they find out where they are, and then the next thing they're stepping up on them. It kind of sucks for them with that aspect that they're generating a lot of RP for other people, and they don't get to stream it themselves. And I honestly, I'm glad that Mike got partner because and I
fuck yeah.
always will praise him and send people there to give him love because he deserves so much of it with all
So
the work
Reggie
that he
and Ash
puts in.
together would be Rash.
Absolutely.
Would
Guys,
it,
please
would it
not
be weird to
ship
say
our
that I've
friends with Ash.
always
It's
wished
super
for
weird, particularly when
to
Ash
be
the
on the
character
opposite side of the
is
knife?
already in a relationship.
Like Chico
it's
has
very
done
strange.
a
Like,
lot
please,
of torture kind of things, but is it weird for me that I'm saying as reckless the
also,
streamer
for
that I
those of
would
you
like to
who,
see
for whatever
Chico on the other
reason,
side
seem
of
to be
Oh,
What do you
really?
think would
It
happen?
challenges
weird
you.
about my
It can
personal
challenge
life.
people to
No.
see how they handle victim
Similar when
RP.
I'm not dating.
Instead
Yeah,
of
it's
like
just-
just
I don't know
seeing
if
your
you
character
can't
that's
understand
always
this because
the strong
your
character
like
that
cognitive skills are that of a
does and gets
fucking
shit done.
10-year-old.
When you're on
but
the other
boys and
end of it, you're the
girls,
victim.
or
It
whatever
really
fucking
challenges
gender
you, which
people
brings
may
it back
be,
to what I was saying before. It
or
challenged me
identity
so
that
much.
they are,
Having
can be
having
friends.
Reggie
And it's super
try and play the
fucking
victim
weird
and
to be so weird
go
about
against
it.
everything that I created him to be.
People think
it's
that, what
just
the
like-
fuck? It's actually the
I don't
same
know,
person
it's
that
just
just
very
keeps spamming it
intriguing
over
to
and over and
see,
over. They
like,
DM me all the time,
that
our
side
portal
of
their
it.
accounts. So.
You know what I mean? And it's just like
It's
I
just
don't
weird
really
though. It's
get
very
that
strange.
part because it's like my characters are
We see him every day, yeah.
just gangsters, right?
It's
So
very
just like with
strange.
Chico being who he is, even though he's not in the South Side anymore,
Why
he
the fuck
still
do they
has
care about
that
what you do off stream anyway?
mentality.
Yikes. It's
And,
weird. You know, I have
you know,
everything
he's
hidden.
not gonna easily
And it's
get caught
sad.
up with
Like,
it,
I have my
but
current game playing
to
hidden on
have
Steam. I
that
have my
kind of,
profile shit hidden on everything. Because
side of
people are
things would be
so
fucking
fucking
intriguing as fuck to
weird.
see.
It's gross.
Love doing victim RP. It's
So,
fucking fantastic.
I just wait for the next account.
I
Wish I
got
would
to
have known
see
that
it.
a month ago.
Well, you know, man, you could have asked.
Oh, hello, Noble.
You had
Happy
my
belated
DM.
school birthday as well.
Wow.
So
As
I guess
Lucas's.
my input on that whole
Or is it just
being
Lucas's
selfless
birthday? I was just
I think
talking about this. I feel terrible about it.
until you've played a serial killer or been
Just
involved
Lucas?
in a storyline.
Because I feel
Serial killers
terrible.
are constantly
I was,
getting shit on. Like a lot of cops just don't want to
I
deal
was
with them.
actually just talking about this with chat.
Viewers hate them.
I was like, I
a
feel
lot of
terrible
streamers hate
because
them,
Lucas
and
has
it's
told us
really
that
disheartening in the beginning, and that's why
he's never
I was
celebrated
so
his
happy
birthday,
when
and we said
Reggie
we
got involved.
would
Was
when it
because
was his
in the
birthday,
beginning, like
and
I
now
was
his birthday is rolled
already
around.
debating on like getting the copy,
and
letting the copycat be caught.
It wasn't
because
about him
was,
today, and it's so
the effort
sad.
wasn't
But thank you
worth
very much
the
for the host and the
reward,
raid. I hope
and
you
it
had a
was
good
so much
stream.
work was going into it, and
Nonetheless,
nothing was really coming
I
from
don't
it
even
except
know what we
like
would get Lucas as a gift.
just people not
'Cause I
wanting
don't think
to
he'd
deal
want a
with it.
gun. Should we? Oh my god, we should get Lucas a pipe bomb.
It's
I think. Oh, sorry.
Oh my god, can you
like-
imagine giving Lucas a pipe bomb as a gift?
That's why I try to include as many people, but then also try to
Wait,
include
actually,
any other serial killers.
we should get him a
Is
practice
when
laptop.
you
Didn't
have
Posey take his
experienced it,
practice
you
laptop
know
off
the
him,
work
or was
that
that
goes into it,
Booba?
and you like
She
respect
took it off
it,
of
and that's
someone.
why
One of them.
serial killers make good cops or SCU because
Or he
they've
was
done
proud
that
of
side,
himself
and they're
or
like,
something
"Oh
for
my
doing
gosh,
it, and
I'm
then
so excited to
Posey
be on
was
this
like, no,
end." Like
that's
Chico
illegal.
was
He's
saying,
like,
you're like
oh,
almost like being the
okay.
victim and on the receiving end now, and it's
Oh my god, we should get him a car bomb.
people don't realize that when a story ends, it literally would have taken any small thing,
I don't
any
know. We'll have
police
to do something for
interaction,
Lucas.
any
I've been
slip up
thinking
to
about it
completely
for the
end
last
that
hour.
storyline. And I felt so bad for the Smileys seeing them get demolished, as funny as it was in character, because it's like these are people that have been building up this arc, and
Don't
then
feel like you
now
have
they're
to?
getting
Well,
caught
it's
so
something
easily,
that
and it's
Ash
all
would
being
do.
like stripped away,
So?
and they're being brought down and just constantly kicked down. Because I see the work that goes into that, and I'm like, oh, these. I had to message a lot of them OOC and be like, look, this was not my
Zero
intention
outside
to
the one community I
you
have
guys
made
just be shit on
from
for a
my
week
Discord
until
universe is
Ash's
private.
video was done.
Dude, it
Oh,
was
I
just
wasn't
running from
listening.
scene to scene. It's fucking ridiculous.
I wasn't
We
listening.
literally
Whoops.
were, it was like bullet points. We would go to one scene, and while we were investigating one, another one would go off, and it was like, these guys gotta chill the fuck out. Holy shit.
It was funny because we was just like, how is it that we could fucking crack open these cases quicker than they can? It's just, that's just like how it was. We just had a different.
That's not it though. Like the
Yeah.
point of the matter is that PD have a set process that they've got to follow.
No,
right?
yeah, no. I know. I mean, I
Whereas-
know that, like, as in OOC, yeah.
Like everyone that you guys found was the people that PD were well aware of and watching already.
And it was also one of those things like, so different members of the Smileys had been messing with people at the Uwu Cafe for a while. So when that finally all came together, there was like 30 people with like lists of information that were like, here you guys go. Here's everything you need to know to fuck
Yeah, it
with
was
the Smileys.
Francis and Kara. They was like in their own little thing, fucking with the Smileys. Because Francis
Oh yeah,
used to
that
be
list that you guys
Smiley,
had of
and
the
Oh, the
names,
task
Scud
force?
had that list
Yeah.
for a while.
But that going back to what Mike
That
was
was so
saying
funny.
is that I agree, and
Did you
that's
say it goes
why,
on with
like,
RP games?
I
I'm not
I
sure.
personally hated the
Did you say it was
fact
my
of
first
knowing that
RP
Mike was ready
experience?
to give up on it already, and
Maybe.
I'm like, no, that's not fucking happening. This is something that I want to see, and I know that plenty of people will want to see, and you're going to get plenty of love for this when it comes through to it. And I did everything I possibly could to help kick this storyline back off because Mike does mean a lot to me, and his RP means a lot to me because I know how good he is at it, and I'd hate to see anyone shitting on it and saying different because he puts a lot of effort into his stuff, and that's why I wasn't going to let that storyline die.
And it was a great storyline. honestly.
Absolutely. And I've said before, my bread and butter is slow burn RP. I love
Yeah.
it so much. And I realize not a lot of people do, because a lot of it really is like very slow discovery of information. But if you're willing to dedicate the
Redemption RP,
time,
I didn't like Red
the amount of
Redemption, though.
conversations that I mean, even Flop,
I
Reggie,
didn't
and
like the
Ash had
controls. Maybe if
in
it's
like the
changed
early
now?
mornings, my early mornings, where
Yeah, your early mornings. Yeah, you keep telling yourself
yeah,
that, dickhead.
Yeah. Listen, fuck you. Okay. We would just have conversations for an hour plus,
It was made by
standing in a
Carlson, maybe?
spot
But my
talking about
issue
the
isn't
same
with-
thing
was with
over and
the
over and
game
over again.
itself. I didn't
But
like the
just
controls of the
knowing that
game.
we had that interaction,
Maybe if I played
and
it longer, I
that
wouldn't
one
mind
tip
it,
off
but-
from Jasper was enough to allow us to talk in person
I'd give it a
for
go if everyone else
an
was
hour
there, but
plus. I
It's not
love that
something that I'm,
stuff.
like-
That stuff is everything
I'm not sure.
to my enjoyment
isn't
on the
apprehensive.
server.
Because I didn't enjoy
and
the
it's
game when I
something that
played
I've
it.
always enjoyed. And I'm glad to see stories like this come to light. And I could only hope more people see it for that way, because I enjoyed
I'm
the hell out
fucking
of it, and I
cooked,
would love to
man.
see it happen more often.
I'm so
A
tired.
lot of cops wanted to be a part of it. Like, I had to get to the point where Hayes was
Sophia,
fighting to
thank
keep
you
the
very much
case.
for the 11 months of
Mhm.
resub. Welcome back.
That
Because
was
people
fun.
just wanted to be
Because
like,
it's
hey, Hayes, I'm taking this from you. Like, nah, motherfucker.
because it was just
Yeah.
a crazy arc, and you know, just like so
Kyle's
much
there?
depth
Oh, I
to it,
love
and it's
Kyle.
just like
Oh my gosh. The
I
interaction
don't
we
know.
had
I
with
loved it.
Kyle
Like I
yesterday,
said,
like Ash
I
and
wasn't a
Kyle
part
and
of it
Raul had
that
yesterday was
much,
so funny.
but the little that I was, it was like
Oh, I love
oh,
Kyle.
it was so great. You know, I wish I had more time in it.
I love seeing how serious it was constantly being taken. Like when Reggie got grabbed and Ash got grabbed, there were these week-long manhunts looking for him, knowing damn well OOC that you weren't going to find him. And it's like
Oh
that's
yeah.
the stuff
Yeah.
that pushes it along
Yes.
constantly. It's like these guys are still looking, and
I think
that's why
I think the
everyone
first
like played their
day,
part.
I think the first day we looked for Ash for like 16 to 17 hours. Something.
Yeah,
I
and we had to
think
dip.
like it was. We've searched highs and lows inside everywhere. Like when you showed the
Yeah,
video
we had to dip.
of
That was such a close
Reggie,
call with
like
Raul.
we did
He
not
was right there,
think
man.
of
He
it
was right
like
there.
there when you said things, but then like yeah,
Joke's on you
everything
all.
was
I
like
FA quit straight away.
everything was fucking. We left no stone unturned, yo. We was looking everywhere,
Yeah, we looked
everywhere,
everywhere.
everywhere.
I was in fucking after I FA quit, before I had to pull apart my computer. I was watching some people looking while I'm Pepe laughing in chat.
Yeah, you came to my stream. You came to my stream, and I was just like, what?
Reggie, you'll be here somewhere.
You were
I'm
such
like,
a
pulling apart my
dickhead
PC.
too. I
I'm
had
like,
no idea.
Reggie
What do
was
you
just
mean?
like,
You didn't even tell me you're moving, motherfucker.
Well, you know what? If you didn't get the hints, are you sure you need to be a judge this week? That's on you.
I was just like, fuck, man.
I
That shit
need
was
to
so
bounce
great,
though, because it's restarting. I got a court case in 50 minutes, and plus
I
I've
was
got
about
Reggie.
to say same.
I've got Reggie dressed up in his fucking ready for war outfit because he's going for war up at the oil fields.
Oh my god.
Gonna clap
boy.
Braun out and take his oil rig.
Well,
Yeah,
damn.
You
that.
can just have
clothes for
Ash's
the
oil
Arab.
rig. Fuck that shit,
Oh,
man.
Probably
Ash.
have scuds.
Ash
too,
doesn't
honestly.
want it. Ash
That
doesn't
was
want
the
it
biggest
anymore.
fucking waste of money. Well, until I bought that house.
Oh.
Hey, it's fine. OOC, I've already fucking spoken to Alex and shit's getting changed. It's fine.
Can I?
Well, speak to somebody about the Bash's house so she can get her money back.
What's up, Mike?
Can I give a closing statement then?
Yeah, go for it.
before this is the last, because this is like gonna be the last time I talk to most of you. Like we don't have characters to interact.
I'll stay with Petey. What are you talking about?
Mabel.
And we'll see Mabel all the time. I'm
Yeah,
sure.
You say
what the
Mabel?
fuck you mean
I
the
don't know
last
about
time?
that,
What the
Chow.
heck?
Look,
And then you're gonna have a PD, so
We need
I get
someone
to
carry
shoot
our
you.
paintball team.
Well, now
I
I'm
guess
sad
it's
and
shoot you, man.
depressed.
I mean, no, it's like, I mean, like the Jasper interactions were great, and it's not gonna happen ever again to that level. So, I mean, I just want to say that I appreciate
Aww.
every single one of you
But I
for
love Mabel.
the work that you all put in, the seriousness that you showed and demonstrated the entire time. It seriously, this arc wouldn't have blown up to the same level if it wasn't for each and every one of you. It was a lot of fun, and I hope everyone enjoyed it. I hope it wasn't too
Aw.
drawn out.
I'm not ready for sad.
And I mean, I guess I'll see you guys on Mabel's every once in a while, but
Just shut up and make an actual lawyer.
Hell yeah.
Why
Look
can't
at-
Mabel
like,
be a
I'm-
lawyer?
I want Mabel the lawyer.
I do
want
too.
it.
Yeah, I
Voted
do.
for it
I
on
do
Twitter.
too.
It was
Yeah,
all-
Orna.
I think everyone
Yeah,
wants Mabel as a
Orna.
lawyer except for Reggie.
Yeah.
Reggie just doesn't like fun things.
I need
Yeah,
serious
Reggie-
characters. That's
Reggie's
my
just
problem.
scared you'll be too attracted to her, honestly.
Oh fuck!
I agree.
Pisses me
I
every day
agree.
the boy goes
We
to work.
we still have not seen the Mabel song yet for Reggie.
Because Jasper knows he's gonna have to perma another character if he does. But Mike knows, sorry, not Jasper.
I don't know if I could sing as Mabel.
Okay.
I need wedgie like my veggies down my
No,
throat.
no,
and
no,
my
no,
belly.
no.
Jesus!
Mike, thank you so
Oh,
much for an
shit.
amazing story. I appreciate the fuck out of it. I'm so glad that you came back and you did this and you stuck to it, man. So thank you.
Thank you
It was
very
fucking
much.
awesome. Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, it was
Freaking
great.
beautiful.
Aww.
Yeah, it was
Bye.
fun.
Bye.
See you never.
Thanks for
Good
having me on.
night.
Have a good night, guys.
Muffy.
Have a good night, everyone. Thank
No.
you.
What were you going to say to Murphy?
I was gonna thank him for being nice to Ash because I was so scared.
Someone clip it, then I'll send it to him. Clip it.
Well, don't do that.
Clip it and we'll send it.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, man. Have a good one.
Put in your
guys.
PDF. God damn it.
It's already in there.
Alright, let me eat out of that too. Oh my gosh, I have to take all these cats off the screen. And also the Discord. Oh no, there's so many of them. Oh no, okay. I might end up accidentally removing stuff I don't want to, but
Up, down, down, left, right, BA start.
that actually works out kind of perfectly. Alright, let me move everything back to where it's supposed to be. Oops, that's not right. There we go. Okay, well, I'm fucking buggered, you guys. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if I want to just end things there. I might do. Question, do you guys want to see the full impact statement that I wrote, or you don't give a fuck about that?
Down, left, right, BA start.
Cause like I wrote points to write, to say like a whole bunch more, but I just didn't want like, I mean like, you know, everyone other stuff was so short. So I felt stupid, you know, I felt a bit, the whole thing made me feel a bit stupid because like Reggie has said to Ash like so many times, like it can be as long as you want and no one can interrupt you and blah 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 blah. So I thought that his one was gonna be super long, and I was worried the whole time that mine was gonna be too short, and I ended up writing 700 odd words for it, you know, for what to talk about. And I ended up skipping so much of it. Santada, I'm exhausted. I did not sleep last night. And like I'm really kind of sad about it because I can feel myself zoning out. You know when you just zone out? Manachan needs it after the big spoiler of Jasper being dead. I don't even know if it, like, I mean, I said most of the points. It was just like a couple little things here and there that got skipped out. So probably half of it, I'd say. Felt so bad that I didn't prep. Well, it wasn't just you though. Like, I have been telling the boys with Ash, although I'm sure everyone will say, well, no one told the boys about it. Why did no one tell the boys? You know, I've been telling them with Ash, you know, like, hey, it's gonna be this thing, the sentencing hearing is gonna be on this day. You can talk if you want to, blah 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 blah. But kind of everyone wasn't prepared, so I don't think you should feel bad about that, Noble. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think I might. I kind of want to go to the court case, though. I'm not sure. I kind of want to go to the court case. I think I might fall asleep, though, if I went to it. To be honest. Let me see. Doo-doo-doo. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Oh my gosh, our sweet little gangster son is live. Oh, he's so cute. Oh, he's so cute. Here, I'm just gonna go ahead and host and send you guys over tonight. I hope you have a good time, guys. I might log in for like 10 minutes. I don't think I can go to the trial. I think I will pass out. But I will see you again tomorrow, guys. I'll do a proper stream tomorrow. Take care of yourselves. Thanks so much, everyone, for being here. Thanks for putting up with us, and I really appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoyed the Jasper arc. I know, honestly, I know a lot of you were, what's the right word here? Starts with an R. Not reluctant. Maybe hesitant. Fuck, I don't know. A lot of you guys were not that keen on it, I guess. So I hope that you enjoyed at least part of it. Reserved, yes, there we go. I hope that you guys enjoyed at least part of it, something about it. I know I did. I would love to do more stuff like that. I really enjoy that sort of RP, the slow sort of stuff. I'm not a pogs per second sort of person, so I hope you guys had a good time. I had a good time. I genuinely don't really think that sort of arc will happen again for Ash. To be honest, I don't know if that's like my own sort of insecurities coming into play there, where I think that people wouldn't want to deal with Ash. But yeah, looking forward to the Samuel arc. I don't know what to expect out of that. I don't have a lot of expectation for it. I don't think too much will happen with it. I know that the guy who plays Samuel, you know, like our time zones like don't line up very well, so it's kind of tricky for him. But yeah, Burn Tessa arc was great. I don't know what that is. I'm sorry. Found it gripping. Yeah, I'm sad that it's over. I'm sad that it's over. Yeah, I don't know. Love Burn and Ash RP. Yeah, I haven't seen Burn's characters for a long time. I'd love to do more with him, but once again, like, I don't know. So, anyway, I hope you guys had a good time. We can talk about it more again tomorrow, guys. As always, you're welcome to join my Discord server. I have a meta chat there. You can go and chit chat in there and hang out if you want to. Please be, you know, respectful and kind. If you didn't enjoy the arc, then, you know, just maybe bow out of the conversation. You know, you don't need to hop on about how you didn't like something. You can just let other people enjoy it. You know. Alrighty, I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Good night, everyone. I'll probably be in the server for maybe the court case. I kind of doubt it. I kind of expecting to fall asleep. So I will see you either tomorrow, or I will see you, I guess, well, I guess you'll see Ash through the eyes of others. So if you do that, you know, be respectful of them too. Good night, everybody. Bye.